Say hello to the internet. Say hello, internet.
Good to be back.
All right, everyone. Welcome back for another episode of the Dales. We find ourselves in Battledale, in the Abbey of the Sword, a very powerful, famous institution built on the ruins of previous temples, at the site where Tempest himself, the god of battle, walked during the time of troubles, period about 20 years ago, when the gods were cast out of their lofty thrones and forced to walk the world in mortal form. We have utterly eradicated the drow threat here, at least the subterranean drow. What's going on the surface is a little bit out of our reach. The guerrilla warfare that is continuing up there is not specifically why we came here. So we've done the job that we set out to do. Eliminated a vast number of drow, a nearly infinite number of spiders, and secured a tremendous treasure trove of riches. We intend, I hope, to split this 50-50 with the temple. That was the deal that we'd made. Essentially, we'd work out the approximate value, I suppose, of the various pieces of equipment that we had, come to some amiable agreement between us and the temple, and return half of it and keep half for ourselves. So, without further ado, I will reveal to you the hoard of the Abbey of the Sword, a absolutely monumental haul of treasures and magic items.
Cha-ching! Oh my.
Wow.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff there. They didn't, although they plundered the place pretty thoroughly, they never actually shipped it out. They did the practical adventure thing of putting on what they found and using it against you, which I guess bodes well for both us and the temple of the Abbey of the Sword, because we don't have to chase down their riches. They are right here on a silver platter.
Oh wow, yeah. Poof. The big one I'm seeing here is this this ring of regeneration.
Sure, Devi would go wild for that full play of the Warlord.
Oh yeah, what does that one do? I'm not familiar with that one.
Here's our full plate of the Warlord.
Advantage on wisdom saving throws, and you stabilize whenever you're dying.
Huh. +1 plate armor is good enough. Plus you get to ditch your Zentarum shit. Oh, is she not here yet?
No.
I apologize for my tardiness.
Oh,
Oh,
good to
you
see you
good.
here, man.
Unforgivable.
Sorry, you got to give up your treasure. Already happened. Ooh, is a Spellguard shield here too? Fuck. Are these bracers of the Myrmidon as well?
Wait, was that dungeon clear at the end of the last game?
I mean, clear is a loose definition. There's a exploded shut-off tunnel that allegedly leads to a Balrog, Baylord, big demon bad guy.
I guess, can someone roll the 1d4 mythril?
Ooh. Dips.
This Mithril and Spine Spinel Bangles.
There you go.
Where was it that you were seeing things that were looted?
Everywhere.
Document called Abbey of the Sword Hoard.
Huh.
Ah.
There's a lot of stuff here.
I mean,
Yeah, it's going to take a fair bit of math to add up the value. Some of them won't even have values, but that's the only way we can really split it 50-50 if we have at least an approximate idea of how much it's all worth.
Can we
So-
have a 1d8 for mythal chokers?
Oh,
Yeah.
It's been rolled. Yeah, it's been rolled.
Okay.
The bracers of the Myrmidon I am unfamiliar with.
These are they.
I remember that
Mm.
Myrmidons are like spear guys for the summer game I used to play.
Oh my god, please. Please let me have that. Holy fuck. Oh my god.
What is Blade Ward?
It's a cantrip that makes you take half damage.
It gives you resistance to non-magical like weapon damage for 1 minute or 1 instance of it. I'm pretty sure.
I think it's one round. Yeah, it's only one
It's
round.
one
I'm pretty
round,
sure.
yeah.
I thought
It's
it'd be pretty decent if it was a minute, but never mind.
yeah, it's not. But it's bracers of unarmored defense, but much better. Plus, it makes me punch at the same level as someone else using like a short sword. So
Yeah, I
mm.
think that's everything that needs to be rolled for.
Yeah, let's just see what all we can come away with here. With all the healers we have, the Ring of Regeneration's probably a lot less useful. The +2 chainmail is, I mean, we already have better armor than that in terms of heavy armor. So those two, I don't think we really need much. The Helm of Private Thoughts is good, but not great. But it's that Warlord plate, that Spellguard shield are both definite winners. Let me check the rest of these rods and the maces too. So many items, it's a lot to take in. Okay, let's check this Rod of Alertness. Oh wow, that's really good.
Did we take out everyone on the list?
They were the tombs, I believe. Or they were the bosses.
The mummies were the rod. If you're talking about the rods came from the mummies.
Oh. Rod of Security. I'm not familiar with that as well. Oh, is that a or a Wand of Secrets?
Rod of Security. I think it's in the compendium. Yeah, it's in the compendium.
Okay.
Get the full plate of the Warlord, the Spellguard shield, and the Mace of Smiting. Give them all to Devi.
The whole deal.
Even more of an unstoppable monster.
Who I just noticed isn't here today.
Yeah, I think they said they're going to be late.
Yeah, it said they'll be late. That's a weird thing. The Rod of Security.
I'm just reading that right now.
Yeah, that's. Huh. That's cool, but I definitely don't think we need that one particularly much.
The temple would like to retain the full plate of the warlord. As we know, you've got to give half of this stuff back. And although they're open to negotiation, that's a relic. Like, it's a holy symbol of Tempest after all. So it's a relic that they are interested in hanging on to.
Too bad you're a cleric of Gond. Oh wait, she's still not here. Because I mean, it's essentially just +1 plate for the most part. The Spellguard shield will grant a lot of similar benefits. But I am fairly amenable to that, but that's also not my character.
I can't see much that I myself would be able to make much use of.
No, it's really, after all, it is the burial
war
grounds of
clerics.
great warriors.
Yeah. So this is for fighters and clerics mostly, I think. Yeah, I can definitely make use of some of this stuff here. Like those gauntlets of the Myrmidon are gonna be absolutely money. That's gonna bump Flint's standing AC to 22. So I'm getting to Devi Usk status.
How many +1 short swords were there?
9.
9.
Yeah, so we
That's a
can
lot.
probably.
It's a lot, right? Yeah. They're worth $2,000 each.
And they said anything that just belonged to the drow, we can just take. They were only interested in half of the relics, right?
The short answer is yes.
So I think the spider staff is probably on that, but I think that's the only magic item that they brought up. Maybe the whip of domination. That seems like a drow thing.
No, it's a Tempest item if you check the
Is it?
description.
I was just reading it. Oh, yep, there we go.
Well, we have 13 unique magic items, and by unique, all the swords I'm counting as one item.
Yeah,
Sure.
that's about the same as one or that's actually that's a pretty significant amount there. Actually, 9 times 2
Oh,
grand.
yeah.
Yes, 18,000.
Sure is.
That's a little more in terms of value than the full plate of the Warlord here. But these rods in particular, I think the Rod of Alertness could be of great use to one of our spellcasters. Probably, like, if she didn't already have a staff, I'd say Dahlia. Roz isn't much for support, so I'm not sure that would be his cup of tea either, but maybe Edwin?
Let me read it quickly here.
Gives you some of the basic detect spells, and as an action, you can plant the sword in the ground, and it becomes a light source. It also, oh wow. And it acts kind of like a fairy fire. It reveals invisible creatures in the bright light area from it.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
But it's advantage on wisdom perception and initiative rolls while you're holding it. So if you don't have like a default weapon here, yeah, this is a magical quarterstaff.
Yeah,
It
I
doesn't
think that would.
explicitly say that, but it's a rod, and I just assume that if you hit somebody with it, it's still magical.
Is it more or less a quarterstaff?
More or less a mace.
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 Okay.
It's a specifically it's a scepter. Yeah, rods are scepters.
Interesting. Club, mace, or quarterstaff of some type. It's a bludgeon. A shillelagh, maybe.
Yeah, I think that would work for me.
The Rod of Security sounds absolutely badass.
Yeah.
I don't know how useful it's going to be here. And mind that we are going to have to sell some of this crummy shit, too.
You can write this down. Rod of Alertness is 25,000 gold pieces. Fucking hell. Rod of Security is 90,000 gold pieces.
Oh my god. No thanks.
Rod of... That was Alertness and Security. What were the other ones?
There's
Immovable
an
Rod.
immovable rod, which I believe is 4 or 8, depending on.
Immovable Rod is 5, yep. And
Oh, wow.
Mace of Smiting. Mace of Smiting is 7,000.
Okay, so the 3 ones I really think we should take is the Spellguard Shield would be phenomenal in Devi's hands. I would very much so appreciate getting the Myrmidon Gauntlets, and I think that the where is this again? Just looking at it. Oh, the Rod of Alertness as well. I think those 3 are probably the most useful for the party.
Yeah.
Yeah, understandable.
What does the spider staff do?
I think it does stuff like casts the web spell and spider walk and whatnot.
You could
Yeah.
probably make good use out of that. Either of you two actually could.
It's a quarterstaff that deals an extra d6 poison damage on a hit, and it has 10 charges. Then you can use 1 charge to cast Spider Climb, or 2 charges to cast Web.
Huh.
And it regains 1 charge every day at dusk.
Interesting.
Yeah, and for Raz especially, there's a interesting interaction there because I'm pretty sure webs are flammable.
Huh.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think that would be good in Roz's hands. Is Spider Climb, you're just able to walk up walls and shit?
Yeah.
And on the roof, yeah.
In like 2 or 3 levels, I'm going to be able to fly without anything, so...
Is that attunement?
I believe so.
If it wasn't attunement, I would
Yeah.
be like, imagine what Flint could do with Spider Climb. Between the full plate of the Warlord and the Rod of Security going over to the Temple of Tempest, that's probably at least like half of the payment that we need to give these guys.
If not more, that 90 grand is a big chunk. That might be half in and of itself.
I'm not sure what makes that item so good, but I suppose you can kind of just like dip out of a fight like that.
Yeah, you can move a
rest for
small
200
army.
days. Yeah, well, I mean, you could rest for 200 days and then come out. Is that what I'm understanding there?
200 days divided up amongst the people, so it's like collectively. So if 200
Okay.
people went, it would be 1 day.
Interesting,
Or
but still, that's like 1
600
full
people
day.
could
Yeah.
go and have a long rest.
In the middle of a fight, yeah, that would be something, but
I think it's probably particularly useful for planar travelers, people who go to the elemental plane of fire and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, when we want to trade out for it, think of this place as a magical pawn shop. When we hit level 15, we know where to find one.
I think
yeah, I don't think
when we do make like military-based moves, that would be very useful.
See, we're gonna be moving way more troops than that, though, Sonny.
I know, but like eventually, how it's going to be is we're going to be part of the force that handles the big bads, while we send other groups to deal with other shit, kind of like.
Oh yeah, we're already doing that.
If we have like a group of 200 or 600, like you said, 600 people could do a long rest in the middle of a battle.
No, 200.
200?
200.
600. Because you get 200 days worth, and it takes a third of a day. So you could have 3 times as many people.
Yeah, regardless.
Yeah, because that would be 8 hours. We could dip 600 people out for 8 hours and then come back at full strength.
I think also creatures don't age within the sanctuary. That'd also be part of the value.
It does seem to be overpriced, I think. So I might drop the value down to 50,000. That's just a price that I've gotten from State Magic item prices. So yeah, I'll drop the Rod of Security down to 50 grand.
Rip.
Yeah, I don't think it's worth 90.
Yeah, it's definitely still significant, but that's
Mm-mm.
an
Super
end game
powerful.
type item. Yeah.
Yeah, but to make it, yeah, 4 times the value of the next highest item seems.
Yeah, because I
Yeah,
guess
fair
essentially
enough.
just give them that and then keep everything else.
That was
Yeah,
what I was
right,
hoping
yeah.
to do.
Mm.
Okay, the Ring of Regeneration. This one's
How much is that one worth?
it's a very rare
12.
item. I know. Really, that's okay. It's still a pretty significant amount, but you can regain D6 hit points every 10 minutes,
There you go.
and you can regrow body parts. So
Hmm.
I don't think it's really worth the price tag on it. But at the same time, the temple could use it, to regrow body parts.
I think how many healer types do we have? Only one or
3, I
three?
think.
Okay. Yeah, with 3 healer types, I'm fine with not fucking with it,
And I mean, when you're talking about in the case of 10 minutes, I think healing like that's not overly important. And like, if I lose limbs, I just become that much handsomer. I think that's how that
Handsome
works.
yeah, handsome with a good story.
Wait,
Right.
what's going on?
We're debating which of these items that we want to keep and which ones are going to give over to the Abbey.
And lastly,
Go ahead.
but with the +2 chainmail, how much is that worth? And then I'll have the prices of every item.
That'll be 8 grand for the +2 chain.
Whoa,
Okay,
whoa, whoa.
here's the deal, Devi. They really want that full plate of the Warlord. It's a holy symbol of Tempest. So that's pretty much off the table. We're probably
That's
gonna
fine.
have to we're probably gonna have to bribe them with some way if we want that. But this Spellguard shield, yeah, you want that?
I may have said that may have been what I said. Whoa, 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 whoa when I read it.
Because between that and there is another item called the Bracers of the Myrmidon that acts like bracers of unarmored defense, but they also increase your punching dice.
Oh, nice.
So I want that.
Yeah, that's
All right.
like the Helm of Private Thoughts is pretty cool, but like if it's between one or the other, the advantage on saves against magical stuff, yeah.
I mean, yeah, we also only got so many attunement slots. So in a lot of ways, like money is gonna probably do us better than some of these items.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that go ahead.
So I've got a druid question. I know I can't wear metal armor. Am I able to wear a helm, or is that considered armor?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. You are British or muted? Am I muted?
I can hear you now.
Okay, Mama. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
I can hear.
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Yeah, I'm moving around. I've got a delivery coming, so I'm pretty mobile at the moment. If you can wear medium armor, right?
I believe so. Yes.
Then yeah, you're able to wear this, and even though it's metal, yeah.
Okay.
All right. So
So,
does
yeah,
that mean you want the Helm of Private Thoughts?
If it's up for grabs, I would take it. I've got 2 attunement slots, but if someone else wants it, that's fine too. I've already got the rod.
Yeah, I
Are
mean,
we?
effectively
Go ahead.
operates like a ring of what is it? Like a ring of protection. That's it.
What are we doing with the whip and the mace?
I have no use for either of those, honestly.
I've got.
Roz
Can we
obviously
go down the
doesn't.
list? I've got that down, so because I'm trying to keep track of this, it's getting a bit confusing. Like, does anyone
I
want
have
the...
a list.
Oh,
So far, we're keeping the bracers, shield, rod of alertness, and helm. We're giving back the plate, the ring, short swords, the immovable rod, spider staff, and I think chainmail.
Spider staff was drow, and they're not gonna want it.
Okay. We can sell the spider staff, I guess. But I guess we're taking that out of the loot pool for money-wise.
Yeah. Does anybody else have any magic items in particular that they want?
Not me, really.
Yeah, suppose makes sense.
I think any other rods would be pretty cool.
I think the Rod of Alertness is going to do us a lot better. If you're holding it, that's advantage on perception checks and initiative rolls. That's good.
So we're not taking the mace or the whip.
I don't think so.
Okay. So that means we have everything dispersed, but I don't know how that adds up price-wise.
Well, yeah, let's. Oh, Carrick, are you doing math on this, or should I start doing math on this?
I've
Because I
started
just
doing
realized
math.
I haven't.
I've lost track. The chainmail, are we keeping it or not?
No.
No. I have the list of what we're keeping and not so far, so if you just want to get the prices for them. So far we're only keeping the 4 items, the bracers, the shield, the rod of alertness, and helm.
The last 2 items again, please.
Rod of alertness and the helm of private thoughts.
Should we keep the immovable rod?
I wouldn't mind keeping that, honestly.
Like that's always got 1,000,001 uses.
Mhm.
Wait,
So
Dev, you have 0 attunement slots?
I had to check that 3 times. Yeah, I just have a +1 shield, +1 sword, and I think that's it for magic items. Like I have a displacer piece pelt to like that we can make into a cloak of displacement, but past that, like I don't have anything magical other than like my armor counts as +1 because of my ability.
Okay, there is the Spellguard shield now, and we have a Cloak of Protection sitting in our stores. That's Luna's cloak. I'm fairly certain you could use that.
Oh, yeah, that'd be awesome. Did you want the +1 shield?
Nah, if I got these braces of the Myrmidon, I cannot
Oh, that's
benefit
right.
from a shield,
Yeah, yeah.
but I punch even harder.
Dahlia, will you be taking the rod of alertness or holding on to the staff of the master?
I guess I can hold on to the staff if you'd rather have the rod.
Are
Oh,
you
I
able to
thought
hold
I
both?
was
Yeah, I only have
Oh,
one magic item.
Edwin.
Matt, you said you would,
Yeah,
Edwin, you would
yeah,
take the rod?
yeah.
Okay.
And then
Okay,
someone
that'll
else
handle it
can
then.
have the helm if they want, because
The
I'm already getting that
immovable
rod.
rod, are we keeping it or are we selling that one?
Let's say we're keeping it for now.
Yeah.
We'll see what we can afford and trade in the barter column once we divvy all the rocks into different piles.
I don't think there's anything in here that Roz specifically would hugely benefit from, so I won't be taking anything.
Yeah, it's warrior shit, so.
Yeah.
Ironically, a lot of stabs, as it turns out. A lot of caster holding type shit.
There we go. Switch out shields.
Will the stuff that has assigned numerical values, is that going to be split as well, or are we keeping that and selling it?
I think we'll be trading it all, yeah.
Okay.
This is gonna be a hefty chunk of change here.
Are you still talking? I can't hear a thing.
Yeah, me neither.
No, I don't think
Everyone
anyone's
I'm
quiet.
doing I'm doing math.
Good.
Okay, I think
Yeah.
I've got it all sorted.
All right.
Magical stuff. At the moment, it's 1,000 gold. If I got all my math right, it's 1,000 gold in favor of the temple.
Oh, that's good. The spider staff isn't included in the total on our side, so it's actually 11,000 in favor of them.
No, does that not count for like magic items?
No, that was
Yeah.
one of the Drow's weapons, so they don't have a claim to it.
Yeah.
Same with the 9 short swords.
No, the short swords, I believe, were Tempest ones as well.
Yeah, they're Tempest weapons.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Okay.
So they do have 11,000 in favor. Do we want anything?
Gold. Well, let's take the trade goods and stock that up because you know what we need? We need money because you know that armor we have? I'm gonna run out of money to pay for them in about 50 days.
Okay, so are we fine with leaving now with 3,000 up and calling it?
Be more than 3,000, won't it?
3,000.
Check your math there. That spider staff is on there for 10.
No, I'm saying we're taking the 8,000 worth of fine jewelry and all that good shit.
Let's grab a short sword then.
Would
Yeah.
anyone be able to use it?
I mean,
Few of us could use it, but like we could even equip like one of our people running our base with it.
exactly. It could be
Okay.
something along the lines of a status symbol. I could 2-weapon fight if I reduce the long tooth to a short sword and grab that other short sword. Devi could have a backup magical sword. Speaking of which, you got that +1 longsword on, right?
I do.
Ah, perfect.
All right, so we're
Wait,
good.
we still have the scimitar. None of
Hmm?
you guys have the scimitar of speed equipped, do you?
Nope.
No, that's Vitch still has it.
No, that was Cater who had that.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. He gave
Huh.
that back to me when he left. So I don't think any of you guys have that right now. So that's also a potential option.
Let you take another swing as a bonus action, yeah?
Yes. So you could use it. Not exactly ideal for you considering it's a D6, but it's a +2 and you can kind of dummy multi-attack with it. Or
Yeah, that being said,
alternatively,
I
give it to one of our
or
NPCs or something.
Yeah, spiritual weapon takes up that place anyway. I'm just like, might save me a spell slot, but no. It's better used by someone else.
All right. But of the loot that we are dispersing now, the only thing that we're changing on the table is we're putting one short sword to our side and taking all the finery. And then they still have a little bit of a favor, but not much that we can do about that.
Call that house wins. The fact that we're effectively pulling 50% of their shit out of their
Yeah.
temple is pretty legit because they're basically paying us to do what the drow do and thanking us afterwards.
Yeah.
To be fair, the Master
So,
would have taken all of it.
yeah.
Shucks, if I knew that this is what being a hero was like, I would have started years ago.
All right, so Edwin's getting the helm, Devi's getting the Spellguard shield, Flint is getting the bracers of Myrmidon. No one's touching the spider staff that I'm aware of. Edwin's getting the rod of alertness, and I guess the
Can I get
immovable
the
rod is
immovable
just going
rod?
to be held by the party.
Oh yeah, I'm sure our ranger could make some use out of that.
Yeah. So then, if everyone's in favor, then Nuval will have the immovable rod.
How much mithril is there that we just got?
I rolled 4 on whatever the mithril denomination was.
Yeah, there's 4, 4, and 3 of whatever. Oh, 1, 4, 4, and 3. I don't
Like
see.
how much
Pound it.
metal is that altogether?
There's a
So
mithril
I've got a little,
necklace.
I've
Go
got a
ahead.
little thing here. I don't know if this is going to answer your question, but mithril weapons and armor require mithril equal to 50 times the value of the player's handbook price, if that's what you're using them for, and they weigh 1/10 of the standard weight. So I don't know if that answers what you're after, but I thought I'd look up
That
post
does.
anyway.
That does. Because I have what's it called? I have fabricate, and I have smithing ability, so I can take raw mithril in theory and be able to pretty much transmute over the course of an hour into gear.
I think this stuff is much too small for that, though.
It's not enough, but it's good to
Yeah.
save.
And I mean, if you're doing something like a longsword, I believe you only need a couple of ounces of it, actually. Mithril be light as fuck, boy. Because I think the mithril sword will weigh like 1/20th of a pound, something like that.
Yeah, but I'm thinking full plate.
That'll let you sneak. No, we're gonna have
Yup.
to find a vein or something for like that.
Yeah, we're gonna have to find more. We can stash it, but I'm just like,
Tethethiamar!
And we'll eventually have war spoils. So,
I mean, this effectively is war spoils here.
I mean, like large scale as well.
I mean, this is a pretty big haul here. Like we're gonna use it and go pay for an army right now. Like the whole way up here, I was posting join the army posters. Putting out
So,
bounties.
are we going to have? Let's see. So we're going to have roughly 8,000 buckaroonies from this. 8,075.
Let's see if I can work some magic, turn that
18,000.
into
Sorry.
something a little more. But yeah, those will be trade goods. But that it might be a quest in itself of getting all that shit fenced.
I will drop the hand crossbow because I'm pretty close to my encumbrance.
I'll carry it for you.
You're now over encumbered.
I don't think I have use of it. I picked it because it was an emergency weapon.
Did you actually run out of ammo?
I did.
That's only happened to me like once or twice.
I used my channel divinity over the course of an hour to make you more arrows.
Right now, I'm sitting pretty low. I'm basically down to my pure silvered arrows right now.
We can always restock. I'm sure this place might have some arrows, right?
Oh, the vultures have some if you really, really want some, but Yeah, we can make our way back and worry about it there.
Now I have to ask: are we close to level up or level up ish?
The
Maybe.
mithril and spinel bangles, those were 800 each or 800 together.
Each.
All right, because that's on the chart there. It's listed for 800 for looks like all of them.
I must have just forgot to math it properly.
How
That's fine.
dare
I just wanted to
you.
double check. Like, how dare you be imperfect and human? Like, God.
Oh, I was wrong. My AC is only going to be sitting at 20, but that's 20 in my skivvies and some bracers.
Nice.
Take that, plate mail.
Laughs in 23 AC.
Yeah, but can you do this?
I mean,
He doesn't have to evade if he's the one going towards them.
I mean, that's absolutely the time when you want it. It's when you that dragon hits you with that breath weapon or Roz tries to kill you.
I can do this.
I reiterate, when Roz tries to kill you.
I mean, that's true.
Because, like, you can fry me alive, assuming
Hmm.
that I fail the save.
Yeah, thankfully when I did hit Edwin, because I forgot to account for him, I didn't roll that high.
Yeah.
And hey, advantage on all saving throws against spells is great.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
That goes an awful long way right there.
But are you
That
gonna
is
level up hit
a-
dice as sporadic as these ones?
Oh god.
Interesting. Yes. There are a lot of 1s and 2s, and also 8s.
Yeah, how are those? How's that barbarian level, bro?
Listen, have you seen how much work that rage has done just like
I
making
know,
me
I know.
unkillable by conventional means? It's
But what
like
did you roll?
I rolled a 1 and a 2, all right?
I love you, buddy. I missed you.
Oh man, what session is this? Like, oh, we're approaching session 30. We've been playing for closing in on a year here, and fuck if I don't still think about that every time I roll for like HP.
This
That
is why
stuff.
I average.
That's why I've always averaged, just because I'm terrified of that. I'm too much of a wimp.
Listen, I've got a high constitution, and I think I'm just gonna go straight up max this shit with Flint. Just go be a rogue with 20 constitution and play the tank. And just like, well, you're a like unpierceable wall of plate mail. I'm just like an unstoppable just pile of hit points.
You go hit me harder.
Yes.
Oh baby, hit me harder.
I've just accepted
Yes.
I have bad luck, so I just roll anyway.
That's
Punish me with the
Uh,
wither combination.
You see, the grand thing with the last the grand thing with the last game, if I hadn't have counterspelled, I would have been put at 2 HP, and
Or died.
yeah, because the guy that came up and hit me for like 2. So I would have been dead if I didn't get that 2 counterspells in a row, basically. Oh no, that one was stopping him from dimension dooring. That was
Yeah, they would have gotten away, and they would have too, because 500 feet would have taken them straight past the blocked tunnel back into the Baylor pit. So they would have gotten away for sure.
He's like, I'm now going to go hide in the corner. Then firebolt. Killing what level spellcaster?
He's
15.
doing
15.
8th level spell is all I heard Arctic say.
Yeah.
That was an eighth level, and I was like,
Yeah,
oh fuck.
she was up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, clutch counter spells, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Down by a cantrip. Oh.
Arctic, I have a question. You had me
Sure.
make a wisdom save without explanation on the other side. Was that a dominate person?
I think it might have been maybe dominate monster perhaps. Yeah.
Oh my god! You almost did it to me twice.
Yeah.
Man.
The level 4 party, level 3? It might be level 3. Either level 3 or 4 party in Icewind Dale yesterday got hit with 3 dominate monsters, 9th level spells.
Oh my god!
Ooh.
What were they doing?
They passed them
Yeah,
all.
how? How
They-
did they get to that point?
There's a, I won't reveal what creature it is, but there's a specific creature that's only challenge rating 5, but it has dominate monster.
Oh
Yeah.
god.
Interesting.
Come,
Yeah.
good lord, that's a punch.
Were there any
And
Yeah.
that's a really bad damage roll too.
Were they PKs or no?
No, it was just a monster, and they passed it all. Like their saving throws were fucking amazing. Constantly getting 17s and 18s and stuff.
Can you use dominate monster on people? I thought only dominate person worked.
Oh man, it's on anything. That's the beautiful
Yeah.
thing about that. Is pretty much
Yeah.
unless you've got a legendary resistance, it works.
I see.
So like, is there a giant wall in your way? Cast Awaken on it and then dominate monster it. Get out of my way, wall! Open sesame.
Debbie's going to be admiring the exquisite craftsmanship of the new shield.
I'm digging these myrmidons, and I just headcanon that they just give me Wolverine claws. I assume they don't, but
Yeah, sure. Like, yeah, whatever. Right.
whatever you want, man.
And Roz, were you saying you wanted that helm, or was that someone? Was there someone else that wanted it? Because I'm already getting a rod.
No, go ahead and take it. Since they're going to be giving me the cloak of protection. I said I could use it, but like I'm already getting this freaking shield, and
Okay.
like yeah.
We also
on.
got that cloak of protection sitting on the back burner.
Yeah. I'm seeing that puts me back up to 24 base AC with the cloak of protection.
Fucking ridiculous. Look at me, I'm a wizard, guys.
Congratulations.
Right.
Because it only lasts until the end of your next turn, and it's against.
My
Okay, you
favorite part
rage
of it.
instead. You rage
Yeah,
instead.
right? It's like, why wouldn't I just rage?
It's not concentration, though.
You're right. I
It's,
could resist it twice.
it's better than True Strike.
I mean, it's true.
It's not
You got a
difficult,
point.
but it has it.
Lowest possible bar. Is it
Ugh.
better than True Strike?
You know, you got a point. True Strike wouldn't be so bad if you could cast it on someone else.
Imagine if it was a
No.
bonus action.
Then it would be too good.
Really?
Get fucked, nerd.
Oh yeah, dude. An arcane trickster doing that?
Because it's advantage of one attack.
Yeah, that's all that rogue needs.
Rogue should have been a kobold.
Yeah, you also gotta have the kobold thing also stipulates that you're not out in sunlight and you have an ally within 5 feet. But yeah,
Should we just go back?
kobolds are kobolds. But okay, yeah, I think we're more or less done here. Does it work like this? Are we able to just like call on the temple, or are they coming back with us?
What do you? I don't understand the question.
Okay, we're wrapping up with the temple. We secured their assistance in the like against the Zentarum. Are we gonna get like a representative coming to the castle, someone coming to court, something like that?
No. Basically, you can expect them to be there when the summons for war comes. So when we muster the forces, they will send forces.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I've got a question. The Helm of Private Thoughts I'm not finding in the compendium. How do I...
No,
Custom item.
it's in our magic items section. Yeah, I'll share it with you right now, but you'll find it
Oh, I can add
under
it from
magic
there?
items. Treasure magic items, yeah.
Gotcha.
Yep.
If not, you could probably just add a cloak of protection and rename it.
Yeah, and give it detect thoughts, or immunity.
I've actually
immunity
got a
detect
cloak of
thoughts.
protection already. That was the
Oh, right.
one item I chose with my starting money.
I mean, that's
Nice.
great for a druid. You need that AC, man. And
Yeah.
saves.
Mhm.
Saves are huge too.
Oh god, yeah, I've essentially got a ring of protection too that functions as a holy symbol too, and it's the greatest thing ever. I don't need
That's
a holy
nice.
symbol too, but ever since I've watched The Mummy, I've always kind of felt like a rogue should have at least like 2 or 3 holy symbols on the person.
That's fair. Where
All
is
right.
where is the party cloak of protection? Is that all? Do I have to wait till we're all the way back, like home, or?
Um, probably.
That's fair. I won't equip it yet.
So when was the last level? Sandfort, maybe?
I think Sandfort or possibly I'm think Sandfort, yeah.
I thought it was before that at the moot, wasn't it?
Would have either been the Sawmill or the Sandfort, I can't remember which.
Yeah, it was a while ago.
Yeah, so we hit the level now.
Woo!
Ooh,
What does that put us at? 13 or
That's
14 or
10.
10,
10.
10? Oh, right. Fuck, a lot lower than I thought.
13 or 14. Did you
That's cute.
throw us against level 15 because you thought we were higher?
No, I don't. I don't adjust these encounters. Some dudes stumbled. They fought a challenge rating 11. Fucking a challenge rating 11 here recently because they're only level 4, I think, level 5. Maybe level. They must have just hit level 5. Yeah. I don't adjust these dungeons. If you stumble into the wrong one, you stumble into the wrong one.
Ooh,
Oh
I guess
man,
choose another meta
I
magic.
just broke the 100 HP club, baby. Oh my god, my sneak attack dice graduated.
Look, 4.
Meep.
Wait, what's the Rune Knight?
Really, really fucking good. We have one of them in our Icewind Dale game playing a bear man, and it's honestly kind of a sight to behold at times.
From Tasha's, yeah.
I believe so, yeah. So you know it's a good subclass, and it's from Tasha's.
Yeah. Hold on. I gotta read up on this because I was gonna go
Eldritch Knight.
Eldritch Knight.
Get that shield spell. Arctic just like has an
Arctic's not
aneurysm.
supposed to know. He's supposed to try to hit me with like a 30 and then start twitching when I say miss. Come on.
Listen, then he's
Doesn't
just gonna
work.
start dropping fucking ancient dragons, and then they don't even do that. They just grapple you and drop you off a cliff. Because if Flint ever had to find you, that would be his strategy: grapple you and then run to the nearest cliff.
I think scrying and teleporting is going to be my attack of choice.
Yup. Oh god.
Good thing I have that Spellguard shield that gives me advantage on the save.
Does help.
What was that?
Oh man.
Does help.
Especially since to resist scrying, I think is a wisdom save.
Also, once you can shield, then the fail all technique of just casting 9th level magic missile at you doesn't work.
Yeah.
It's like, it sounds like a stupid idea, but if you ever just need to guarantee 50 damage to somebody, you could probably do better with a meteor swarm, but that's not the point. Okay, so yeah, I think we regroup at our castle, redistribute our wealth, and then deal with Teshwave and the Goblin Fort.
Sounds about right.
Sure.
All right. Transmuted spell, or I think it's distant, that extends the range. Should I be able to change other spells into fire because that's my thing, or should I have more range? What do y'all think?
Wait, which meta magics do you have already?
I have empowered and twinned.
Okay. It's not necessarily totally. You're probably best served with the damage changing one, because that way you can grab shit like Cone of Cold and Lightning Bolt and not non-fire type spells, and alternatively you can like, oh shit, this fucker is immune to fire damage. You're a little less fucked then. But
and like switch a fireball into like a cold ball or whatever and stuff like that.
exactly, yeah. But the spell, I forget what it's called, heightened spell, I think it is, for things like banishment, polymorph, and stuff like that. When you need someone to fail a save on something, you can force a disadvantage or something that has magic resistance. You can fight through that and just give it a flat roll. But not quite as much Roz's cup of tea, but I've seen you put that polymorph spell to some pretty good use so far. Something like
Very
polymorph with
expensive, though.
banishment. Yeah, it's very expensive, but if you need to neutralize one target right now, you slap a heightened spell, banishment or polymorph on them, and
I think I'd get one more meta magic later on.
I think
really
so.
late, I think. Yeah, is it 18 with source?
Yeah. Also, there's the new class feature from Tasha's, where every time you would reach a level where you can get an ability score improvement, you can choose to replace a meta magic feature with a different one.
Oh man, but the damage reroll one and the damage type reroll ones are both really good. I will say that I think Quicken Spell has its own virtues as a full caster, just being that you can do something like Quicken Spell the Fireball, move out of the way, and then hide, or take dodge, which is very, very potent to your survivability.
I have to take Rune Carver. It's too flavorful for who Devi is.
Oh,
Like Rune Knight. Like I want to like the power gamer in me really wants to take Eldritch Knight, but Rune Knight fits so well, like with what it is.
I mean, you do have a Rune Forge. You do.
Like,
do
well,
do
and
this kind of stuff.
she's a Gondite. Like runes and like the science of magic and constructing things. That's her. So yeah, there we go.
I just think of a Warcraft dwarf every time that I see you. I just want to give you a blunderbuss instead of like a weapon. That, or you could. We need to get you some kind of hammer that shoots a shotgun out of it when you hit someone with it. But we'll get there.
And that's how I could flavor the fire shackles.
Which that one's hella potent.
I was gonna go with
Oh, man.
the cloud thing is very much her with the reaction to have them attack me. I think that's every round. It's my reaction every round.
Oh man, then you can make yourself big now too.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god, that
Which
makes your spirit guardians even better. So it's not super like power gamey, but damn, that's synergy. That is some synergy.
Yeah, that's some synergy. All right, here we go.
All right, so you're Optimus Prime. That is confirmed. Okay, I just need to make it back to the other abbey.
Oh, it's only once per
and,
short rest, short or long rest.
uh,
I mean, I could do Cloud Rain on 2 different items though. Still, that it'll be a clutch move instead of a constant move, so that's fine.
oof. Forgot the level 9 thief ability is kind of stupid.
Stupid good or stupid meh?
Both somehow? Yeah, it's weird. I have advantage on all stealth skills provided I'm not moving more than half of my speed, I think it is. Yeah.
Huh?
It's at the same time, holy shit, blanket advantage based on my movement,
Right.
but it's also like not very good. I don't know.
Suppose that you're supposed to be like tiptoeing through a building, not just like sprinting through.
Exactly, yeah. But it's like I feel like all rogues should have something like that, or there should be a disadvantage to do it any other way, but that's just me.
Maybe I go Cloud Rune and then go Stone Rune for 120-foot dark vision.
Oh god, imagine having dark vision.
Hey, we have a kobold. We have one person with dark vision, right?
Oh my god, I can't believe that I've hit level 10 and I still don't have a method of getting dark vision reliably.
Right.
Like I was counting on having a wizard at some point. Someone would die and roll up a wizard, but no. Never happened.
I mean, I could take it, but I ain't using my spell slots on you.
Fair enough.
I mean, what?
Yeah, you're our war wizard, so
I mean, pretty much. Yeah, let's go stone rather than fire.
so you're still only a 6th level cleric then, is that correct?
7th. 7 and 3.
Okay. Oh yeah, that's right. Okay. You think you're gonna push all the way to 5 for multi attack, or
No, I'm
Okay.
gonna go back to
full cleric from there
full
on out?
cleric. Yep.
Oh man, you've multi-classed a full caster, and that's not easy to do.
It isn't now, but it's there we go.
Well, starting from level 1 like that anyway, like
Yeah.
ain't easy. Like this is as close to a non-multi-class as I think I've ran without playing like a wizard or something.
Yeah. Yeah, Rune Knight just fits the flavor too well.
Mm-hmm. We get even bigger, Debbie.
I mean, yeah, she's already kind of tall. Yeah, 6'3".
Fucking hell.
So arrow recovery, how does that work? Is it just like you get half of them back?
Wait, half a what back?
The arrows I shot? Can I pick them up?
Oh, yeah, allegedly. I'm hoping that we really shouldn't need to burn any on our way back. Because once we get to the Abbey, then we have barges to take us, so
So I get 4 uses of Giant Smite. Holy hell! Because it's tied to
damn,
proficiency bonus,
that's nice.
right? Big Debbie comes charging through full plate. Let's go.
It's just my headcanon that your armor just gets real big and it's kind of like a Gundam,
This isn't even my final form.
pretty much. You're a Gundam, and it activates Super Saiyan. The hair is getting large as you like activate your Spirit Guardians.
And it's a Gundam.
You have the power of God and anime on your side.
Damn right.
Oh fuck! Your +1 Zentarum longsword becomes a katana. Spent years mastering the blade.
Just struggling to choose a new spell.
Oh, you guys are getting. Oh, you're still on 5th levels, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I just got a second 5th level slot, and I'm doing Cold of Cold, but changing it to fire damage when I can.
Cha-ching.
Oh, I didn't realize Cone of Cold was so good until I read it.
It's a big area.
It's more than a fireball.
Yeah.
Do you that with fire? Good lord.
Mm-hmm. Who needs burning hands?
Yeah, I got rid of. Oh no, I haven't gotten rid of Burning Hands. I am getting rid of Burning Hands though, since there's no point now. Since I have the.
Let's grab something different.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what my other spell is going to be because I grabbed Cone of Cold because I get a spell, because and I'm trying to figure out what I want it to be otherwise.
Are you looking for a damage spell or something else?
I
'Cause you've
have
got
a
a lot of
lot
damage
of
spells.
damage, so I was thinking of something else.
I'm gonna throw out 2 here. Animate objects is hands down one of my favorite. Like, it's both utility and damage, but Ra's Dimension Door and Greater Invisibility can both be devastating. Like, one big thing with Counterspell is you need to see the spell being cast. If you want to just work around that entirely, cast Greater Invisibility on yourself and then run around the battlefield just blowing people the fuck up. Because they can't really counterspell you unless they can see invisibility.
And it
And
lasts
just
a minute.
Yep, it lasts a full
Yep, that's
minute
pretty much a combat.
concentration. Yeah, it's a combat spell, definitively, and it even has some non-combat use. Like, you can drop it on somebody else, for instance, Flint, and then watch him go full like Anakin in the like Youngling Temple. Yeah,
How many turns is 1 minute?
that'll be like
10.
6 turns or 10 turns.
10.
I'm sorry,
6 seconds around. That's 10 rounds.
yeah, that's it.
Damn.
So that's a good one. That's both combat and non-combat utility, and I don't think you have a lot of concentration spells, so that's a good
I
one.
don't have any.
I would highly recommend Greater Invisibility then.
All you guys getting cool things. I can remove like 1 exhaustion and a short rest.
Oh fuck!
Hey, that's a greater rest. Oh no, that's a. Damn.
That's a Greater Restoration essentially.
Yeah.
Because the other cool thing I get is the invisibility thing, that Nature's Veil.
Dahlia, did you take Dawn?
No, you need this. You need a Sunburst Pendant to use that spell.
Oh, well, I know a place where you can get the one that Flint's wearing.
Oh, are you wearing a Sunburst Pendant?
I have a holy symbol of Lathander that was referred to as a sunburst pendant.
I see.
It's worth 3,000 gold pieces as opposed to the 500 required.
I guess you can't use it
But
then.
I mean, it's also my amulet of protection that also casts protection from good and evil. But I think you can get another one at the Temple of Lathander. If that's the only obstacle to getting it, I think that is definitely an option. Oh fuck, you could get Teleportation Circle too, and you're not much of a debuffer, but the Synaptic Static is definitely one of the best non-concentration spells in the game.
I'll take a look.
If you've never read that one, it's a bit of a read, but it's a crap ton of psychic damage, and if they fail to save, it's like a 1 minute Bane effect.
Yeah, A whole bunch of psychic damage. If they fail to save, they detract a d6 from their attack rolls and ability check.
It's non-concentration too, which is kind of the real money shot of it. The bad side of it is if you hit an ally. It's also an intelligence save, which is not common. I think that's on the sorcerer list, so I think you could take that one too if you wanted, Roz.
Which one?
Synaptic Static.
Oh God, that's such a good spell.
Mm-hmm.
I was also
Like
looking at
it's
something
the
like,
same. It's the same
the
damage
summon
as
spells, maybe?
Fireball.
I don't know
Like
if it's
Synaptic
on there.
Static is the same damage as Fireball, but like the D6 to attacks and saves Rider with that when they fail is just so good. Non-concentration.
What about that one, Dahlia?
I was also thinking something like Mass Cure Wounds.
Oh,
Because
fuck.
my Sorcerer Meta Magic Divine Soul lets me re-roll the heal. And it's only one healing roll for everybody, so I can re-roll that one roll and make sure it's above average.
That's wow, yeah, that could actually be really, really good in the
Yeah.
scale of like larger combat. So I think
Yeah.
it's an AoE. Oh, it's limited to 6 creatures at a time though.
Yeah, 30
That's
foot
still
radius sphere.
that's still 50% of a squad though. That's over 50% of a squad, excuse me. So it does work on the like big combat rules if we ever did that, but it's still a good spell though. And even so, putting that on the whole party too.
Yeah, because that's 18 d8s
Yeah.
of healing split amongst the party.
It's good on action economy too. It's just we have a tendency to run around ramshackle.
Yeah. It's also a holy weapon, which I could potentially twin, give 2 people holy weapons.
Wait, what does holy weapon do?
Extra 2d8 radiant damage for an hour.
It also makes your sword emit light.
Yeah.
Oh fuck!
Guys, have you
Not
guys
gonna
seen-
lie,
Sorry.
I would like that.
What do you guys think of Sickening Radiance?
It's a little situational, but I've seen that one be absolutely devastating when used by both players and NPCs.
Could also take the heightened spell meta magic and dominate person.
Oh, that is a potent 1-2 punch. Like that is even better than the banishment trick. Is when you go and do that to him.
Yes, that would be pretty funny.
Well, I mean, it's in terms of action economy, that's definitely one of the best spells. I mean, you just turn numbers directly against them, and you turn an ally into a flanker. Then
The problem is I'm not sure what else I would use heightened spell for. I'd take the meta magic specifically for that spell, which is a bit overkill. I feel.
maybe right. If you had bestow curse, maybe.
Perhaps. I can always want to swap it out on a long rest. So for now, I'll just take Mass Cure Wounds and think about it more later.
All right. Yeah, hitting the level. That was a pretty long dungeon. Pretty big
Was.
payout too.
All right. So
the
having
next step-
concluded your business, yep.
No, go ahead. I was just going to say the next step is going to a goblin fort or something like that. But yeah, go ahead, Arctic.
Yeah, and that's basically what I'm going to ask as well. So, having concluded our business in the Abbey of the Sword, we can prepare to leave Mistledale. There's some things you might want to revisit in Mistledale. There's an alchemist who sells smoke powder. There's a magician who has a handful, only a small number of magical items that might interest you now, more that you've got more liquid money. Raz might once again try to infiltrate a suspected Zentarum spy's house and cause another bit of a kerfuffle. Anyway, it looks like we are ready to head back in the direction towards Dagger Falls. Um, there are a few different ways that we can go, but one of our options is simply going up the river until we hit Shadowdale, and then from there, Dagger Falls is just a hop, skip, and a jump away. Yeah,
We dealt with
so,
that. We secured barges.
yep, we've got our barges. You've already you sent the troops back yet, or not? I can't remember.
No.
Right, which would make sense because otherwise there wouldn't have been so many iron vultures with us in the dungeon. So yeah, so we've got an easy route to head back up to Shadowdale. Have you been to Shadowdale recently? Oh no, even if you haven't, you've heard that Elminster has gone missing. We learned that through the report of the Dales, the State of the Dales report. So presuming that there's nothing that entangles us in Assembra or in Ashaven Ford or along the river itself, then we're likely to be in Shadowdale, where we can possibly address the issue that concerns Elminster. Where is he gone and why? And then head back to our own castle, Castle Daggerdale in the Dagger Hills, and from there on to Dagger Falls. The question regarding the Goblin Fort, that's a Teshwave is an occupied town. It's smaller than Dagger Falls, but it has more soldiers than the entire population of Dagger Falls. So it's a town under occupation where the population has jumped about 5 to 10-fold just due to military placement. A lot of those militants are monsters, goblins specifically, but certainly other monsters as well. There's a bit of a report that I'll share with you in a moment. We had suggested to the Druids that we were going to destroy that fortress, since they really don't like the Zentarum. They probably hate them more than we do. The Zentarum are actively engaged in attempts to pacify the border forest, plunder its natural resources, desecrate its temples, and so on. In order to completely secure the Druids' allegiance, namely the Malarites, whom we might not want to be friends with anyway, we're going to have to or just utterly destroy the Goblin Fort, just as we destroyed the Sand Fort. So I'll present that report right now.
I love that image. Ooh, and that, now that you bring that up, yeah, I think picking up a little bit of extra smoke powder might make this job a lickety-split, quick job, you know? One big boom, and then, yeah.
So, do we want to take out what was the Goblin Fort by Teshwave, then Teshwave, then go to the Border Forest again?
Well, I think first order of business will be the Goblin Fort. If we can essentially sabotage it, blow it up. Well, what's the term? Sap it. Sappers? Yeah. Dig in mines, something along those lines. If we can blow that son of a bitch up, I think that was the last thing we needed from the Druids.
Yeah, that was the last of the three.
Okay, then I think this will be kind of a 1-2 punch here. That'll potentially pull the Zentarum army off of Teshwave, and if we're able to do some kind of Teutoburg Forest type bullshit where we catch them out in the open and have the Malarites just kind of throw a billion wolves on them in the night or something like that. go sack the place during the night, put out their torches, because that's been our bread and butter this whole time, has essentially been night raids. Which, if you ask anybody in the ancient world, is a bad idea.
Not a lot of dark vision in ancient Greece. Only the vampires had it back then.
Fucking vampires. Listen, you don't need dark vision if these dumbasses have campfires lit. They're just standing in light. It's like they want us to shoot them from the dark. But yeah, I think that's a rough battle plan that we go essentially consolidate our forces, see if the Zentarum are literally breathing on top of us. And from there on, I think we secure a little bit more smoke powder with some of our recently acquired well-gotten riches. Turn that into boom powder. Blow it up.
Yeah, sure.
I'd also like to see if he has an ounce of shadow top leaves.
Probably have to talk to the elves for that.
Mm.
Wait, we actually know where one of those are. Those are those trees that they make the the houses out of, right? So I think we found some of those in the border forest.
Yeah, there's shadow tops are said to hold the souls of ancient elves, and so it's illegal to chop them down. But up in the not the Zent logging camp, but the Silkwood sawmill, the Dagger Falls logging camp, they did chop a bunch of them down, and the druids turned one of them into a gallows as a symbolic gesture.
Oof. Oh, well, I know a guy who you could talk to who might have one then. Let me see if I can find Pretty Boy again. Oh, he's in Dagger Falls. Oh, there's a lot of NPCs. Ah, Cal Farwin.
Right.
That would be in Dagger Falls, though. But in the
Yeah.
heart of Cormanthor, I mean, somebody in the area might do it, right?
If you're just looking for leaves, then you can get them almost certainly in Shadowdale. They're one of the best suppliers of herbs and the like anywhere in the world. And it's likely that they will have gathered some shadow top leaves. So that's not going to kill an elven soul. It's when the tree dies that the actual violation happens.
Cool. Then we
So,
just
yeah.
need the crushed onyx, jet, or black marble, and then the silver thread. And I already have the pelt,
Mm.
and that's a nice little cloak.
Let me just double check. We do not have very many jewels sitting around, but that shouldn't be too hard to get. We'll double check. I think Westgate sells gems as well as purchases them.
Yeah, it's just been a back burner thing. It's not like a huge rush.
I mean, this is about the time where we go do this shit around level 10, right? Just got a big payout here, so
it frees up an action for me every round.
See here.
Guys, I think I should get a proper spell focus. Like this mistletoe, like it doesn't look very cool. You know what I mean?
Nah, you'll need something much better. We'll get you some seaweed. Yeah, that'll do you good, right? Seaweed.
How's that better from this leaf?
Oh, well, I don't know. I just figured you need a plant, right?
I think like an amulet would work.
Well, I think we can find one somewhere. I'd recommend you go talk to that guy, and I'm gonna point at Edwin.
Like, can you make me a symbol?
Well, let me see. Would you like me to druid craft you something?
I think I can do that myself.
So what do you?
I suppose out of
What are you looking
curiosity,
for,
I will
sir?
do Druidcraft. What's the weather going to be like for the next 24 hours?
It's going to be misty and battle-y. Misty with a 50% chance of battle. 100% chance of Dale.
If I was to attack me, could I just go to one of the traders and get them to carve like a symbol for me?
Yeah, absolutely. Each of them
Or you
points
can
very
talk.
big.
You can
Debbie?
talk to Debbie. She has proficiency with jewel crafters tools, and like you can describe what you want, and she can probably make it.
I guess just like an amulet with the caster's head like carved into it.
Yeah, I can probably do that. Give me 1 second.
Would it have to be wood to be a druidic like one, or could it be a metal one?
I mean, if you're a ranger, I don't think the same rules necessarily apply. Because, what is your god? Like, Bahamut?
I thought it was just like weird nature stuff, which is why I made it Cass. So I'm basically treating it like a sort of, I guess, patron. Like you get my magic from like the dragon. Which I thought was the point of like the Drake Ward and stuff.
Oh, I have something, if you're willing to get a little outside the box here, is we have this silver dragon tooth. Oh, we have some green dragon teeth as well, if that's more appropriate.
I think Silver Dragon would probably be closer. I suppose would
Got
Cass be
exactly
pleased with that?
one, but you can have it.
Yeah, I can also make like a gold amulet because dragons and like what they like to hoard. But
Truth. But, yeah, part of a dragon. Whatever.
Can you turn some of these platinum coins into an amulet?
I can do it with one.
Yeah, because Cass likes platinum. He says that's the color I should use.
All right. So 1 hour channel divinity and an amulet, spellcasting focus amulet is worth 5 gold. So I can convert that.
Oh, did we ever get a loot manifest from the just the miscellaneous stuff from the temple? Carrick, do you have something like that sitting around, or should I make that on my own?
For what?
From the stuff we pulled from the temple that wasn't directly magic items. That was essentially just trading goods and gold value.
Yeah, it's slightly cut off. It's the one most to the right on my spreadsheet.
Oh, okay. If you're able to copy and paste that to me, I'll get that saved into our party wealth.
So is it just
think
like
I can
one
copy that off a
platinum
JPEG.
coin for like the thing then?
Yeah. Yeah, an amulet's worth 5 gold, so it's equivalent gold value basically.
Half a coin if you really want.
And it,
Get them. And so I need some arrows.
Yeah.
Speaking of arrows, now I
I'll
think about
add-
it.
Oh, what's up?
Now I think about it. I think I'll take Holy Weapon because the idea of Holy Weapon on a sharpshooter ranger is absolutely disgusting.
Yeah.
that's no. Just no.
An extra 2d8 on top of all that damage he already does.
Yeah.
I think that's on every hit as well. Yeah, it is.
Tee hee, as they say.
I can twin it.
Would you
to
be able
affect
to
someone
use
else
that?
as well.
Oh my
On
god,
a
that is a
beast form?
lot of money. You guys have any idea what I can do with that much money?
Oh, you could make a platinum like amulet.
What? No, like an army. This is enough like money to outfit like a full ass trained army here. Holy bananas.
But yeah, I can spend another hour and make a bunch of arrows too.
Do you need like a gold or something? Like, how does it work? Do you just trade with your god?
Perform an hour-long ritual, and I am able to basically transmute it. Yeah.
I think I understood. I hand you 1 platinum because I don't have any other coinage.
I mean, up to the DM, I could make 200 arrows with that.
What's the query?
Can I make so with the channel divinity for a forged cleric? Can I turn a platinum piece into 200 arrows because it's equivalent gold value?
You need the materials
No.
too, don't you?
Yeah, you need that's right. You need raw materials for that.
Yeah,
For that
post up the
as I
description
understand
real
it.
quick.
I did post the description. You basically
Oh,
turn metal, which can include coins, into equivalent value of something that includes metal. Doesn't have to be all metal, but includes metal.
Okay.
Oh, that's the, sorry. I've basic. I put basic to channel divinity. My bad.
Um,
Oh, 10 pieces of ammunition.
The most expensive ammunition in the land.
I
Yeah,
mean,
same for
I
me.
can. I have 5 silver pieces. You can keep that.
Okay. I guess how many arrows do I end up with then?
10. Yeah, before I need to take a short rest to get my channel divinities back, but I've already used 2.
I'll
I
be
mean,
back in a moment.
I can keep going like 10 at a time.
It might be
You
easier
can
just
take
to
the
buy
rest
them
of
from
mine
Quinn.
though, and
Oh, okay. How
yeah,
many do you have?
you can just. I have 10 left. Well, I've got 10 regular arrows left.
There you go. I'm good for 10 rounds of combat.
I mean, ideally we shouldn't need it, and listen, I'm gonna get a Boyer and a Fletcher as soon as we get back. I'm gonna go hire some.
I think I'm gonna try to get some weaving tools because I'm good. I can do that.
Right. It'd probably be more
Actually-
along the line of woodworking.
I need to check with
I'll be back in 1 second too.
I need to check with Arctic because I just picked up Smith tools again as a proficiency and I already have it. So want to see if I can switch that out for something else. Most people say sure, but it's up to him. Another tool proficiency.
When you have to make a character change like that, can you just edit your existing one, or do you have to create a new character from scratch?
I can edit. You can add skills.
Okay.
Like right now, I have Smith tools, leather workers tools, and jewelers tools. In between that channel divinity and this spell, I can supply a lot of what people need. In fact, technically, you can turn coins into like bars of iron, and then use fabricate on the bars of iron to make a full set of armor.
Huh.
Yeah.
I remember us doing this a whole bunch at what was it, like level 7? Right when you got fabricate.
No, yeah, I think so. I made some stuff with fabricate. I mean, technically, what I could do is what is it? Bars of iron are like a silver piece each, and so like you need, and each one's a pound, and it's 65 pounds for a set of full plate. So technically, for the low cost of 6 gold, 5 silver, you can make yourself a full set of full plate. Rules is written now. Like that just breaks economies and makes things dumb and not fun, but it's technically possible.
I suppose there's only so much plate mail you can make in a day, then.
Plate mail is hard as
It's
fuck to make. That takes way too long.
fabricate is it's a 4th level spell, so you gotta take your rest afterwards. Like I only have one 4th level spell slot, but like at higher levels you can just break in an entire economy.
The craft.
Because channel divinity is I'm up to 2 uses a day, and they come back on a short rest.
The god of the forge sent forth his clerics to destroy the economy.
Yeah, pretty much. Like you can.
Listen, it's called a
Technically-
wartime economy, wieners.
Oh God.
Just sat in the middle of like the most peaceful place with like 10,000 suits of plate mail, wondering why no one will buy them.
I mean, we could technically abuse this and equip our entire army with full plate.
I'm not gonna say to not do that, but it's only a +1 bonus of AC to our vultures. I mean, it's objectively better to just give them all shields, which is what I've done.
Fair. Why not both?
Our money's better spent elsewhere, honestly. We're
It's-
better
it's
off getting
six-
more
It's
shitty
6.5
troops.
gold.
I mean, I think it's also
It's
time
time
investment.
consuming though. Yeah, your time is more valuable
That's
than that,
true.
Debbie.
Yeah, those fourth level spell slots, man.
Yeah, even if you're higher level, it'd still be kind of a pain in the bottom.
Yeah.
But we're gonna be better off spending that money to actually just hire a group of smiths to just start building shit, you know. But
That's fair.
yeah, we'll get back, see what kind of money I'm sitting on, and then I'm probably going to make some more orders out, and hopefully we can actually get all the shit imported.
Hold up.
So with this
hold
kind of
up.
money,
Who made the rogue the guy in charge of the coffers?
I did.
We're doomed.
I mean, it's been like this since day one. You're just realizing this at level 10.
No. What's his name was taking care of it at the beginning, Vitch.
Yeah, because he was a rogue as well.
He was more fighter than rogue.
Listen, I might be more rogue than barbarian, but what's Flint's most useful trait? His forehead.
He has a useful trait.
his barbarian forehead.
Oh, right. We just throw him at the enemies and let him get punched. Got it.
Right? I'm like you, except like I can actually take a hit.
Hey, I can take a hit too.
You can take a lot of misses.
Because they can't lay a hand on me. That's really what it is. They're too afraid to hit a woman. That's what it is.
I'm sure. It's not the thick layers of plate mail and the fact that you're too damn tall.
So guys, are we going
And?
back to the place with the giant fruit?
Giant fruit. Giant fruit. What you talking
the-
about?
Abbey of the Golden Sheaf.
That's the one.
Ah. Well, that's the first stop. Well, I gotta stop. Make one stop in Ashenford, but that won't take not a minute.
All
I
right.
think we're ready to go.
Cool. So you depart the Abbey of the Sword. They are much happier with this situation now. There's still the lingering threat of a demonic portal deep beneath their abbey, but can't solve all the world's problems.
And they didn't ask us to.
And they didn't ask you to. They don't expect you to. So it's kind of better the devil you know than the devil you don't. If they get rid of the Baylor, who knows? Maybe the Baylor's the only thing that's keeping the portals from disgorging all manner of atrocities. So
Oof.
we say goodbye to the Abbey of the Sword and head up to Assembra, which is the only town in Battledale. It's relatively large, relatively prosperous. This is the place that has the what does it have? Assembra. It's cosmopolitan. Not a lot of young people because everyone goes away.
So it's Florida.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. But there's not much here to be found in Assembra. The local lords are impressed with your ability to clear out the Abbey of the Sword, but more and all, it just gives them more ammunition against the Abbey of the Sword. They're not big fans of Tempest. They worship Helm, a lawful god rather than a chaotic one, and so the fact that these war priests required external assistance to deal with a martial threat only serves to justify their distaste of the god and his worshippers. Okay. And so we travel on through Cormanthor Forest, either heading up via the Standing Stone if we'd like to, or taking the shorter path through the goat tracks instead.
Hmm.
Have
We
we
took the
taken
short
a?
path last time, right?
Yeah, we did. Have we taken a long rest since finishing, or are we still are post combat?
Hmm.
I would have thought
Good
we were
question.
owed at least a night's rest or a day's rest after doing that for them.
As nice as this ruin is, I mean, maybe we could get to the Abbey of the Golden Sheath. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
That's
That
like
was
100 miles or something.
Yeah, more than a day.
Unfortunate.
But if the temple is not to your liking, if the monastic quarters, Assembra is just down the road, 10 miles away.
Eh. It'll be fine.
What could possibly go wrong?
Truth.
Okay.
Shield.
Yeah, excellent. So you take your long rest and attune to the appropriate items. We have to pay for the accommodation of our men as well, so it's got to be roughly 1 gold piece per person when you include food. So yeah, that's roughly 100 gold pieces. There you go, 60. So yeah, you become acutely aware of the fact that armies cost money on a daily basis. You give them the 60 gold pieces, and the economy of Assembra gets a little bit more vibrant for one day. You hear that they where is our chart? Where is it? Recruitment for Cormier, kind of documents, Dale's Council. This is the one I'm looking for. So it doesn't tell you which of the individual groups want what. That's not handy. I think we're on. They are sitting at the edge of both the northern and the southern Dales. The Zentarum and the Simians are both an issue for them. The Drow less so now that we've taken care of it. Yeah, so you're once again reminded of the hostilities of Sembia towards the south. They have mostly got their eyes on Cormier, with the chaos that's in Cormier since the king has disappeared, the infant king. But invasions from Sembia remain fresh in their mind. Entire sectors of the Dales have been conquered and still are conquered by Sembia. Some of the Dales have lost their Dale qualities and are now not just client states of Sembia, but actually part of the nation. Tasseldale, Featherdale, Scardale are essentially either part of Sembia itself or client states at best. And that puts Battledale one of the next on the list. So it is that they might that they're under a greater threat from Sembia than they are from the Zentarum just by nature of geography. Since marching an army through Cormanthor is challenging at best. So we rest there, get our energy back, and then are we travelling through along the path or main road?
Did we take the
think we
path
can
or the
take-
main road last time?
We took the path last time.
I'm fine with going over the path then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what we brought scouts for.
All right. So we travel through the path. Edwin, could you roll a D100, please?
Before we set off,
Yeah.
I'll just
Speech.
remind about the feat that I have. This thing is 15 temp HP now, so everybody should have that.
Yeah.
And also, I've swapped in the aid spell during the long rest, and I'm going to cast that twice to affect the whole party at 2nd level. So
Fuck.
everybody's maximum hit points is increased by 10.
And how much HP is
would be
the
third level.
Would it be 3rd level? I'm sure it's just second.
It's a second level spell.
Oh right, you're right. Yeah, you're absolutely right. In that case,
You can exclude me. I have a bucket load of hit points.
well, one cast affects 3 people, so if I cast it twice, it affects everybody.
Oh, yeah. If you want to do it. And it's at 5 or 10 hit points.
I'll do it at 2nd level, so everybody's max hit points increased by 5. And I'll, on each of those casts, I'll spend 1 sorcery point to extend its duration, so it's 16 hours instead of 8 hours. Should last the whole
Nice.
day.
Nice. That's good. That's interesting. And is that 15 temp HP or
Sorcerers.
14?
It's like, yeah, in a different
15.
campaign, I would do
15.
that
Oh.
for a long rest and then have all my spell slots back in the morning.
I have 120 hit points and I reduce almost all of it.
I have 72 with everything that Dahlia added.
Ridiculous.
76.
Almost breaking 100. 93.
I shall never break 100.
I cast 8 on you at 9th level.
I'll
That's
have
alright.
to take the tough beat or something.
I rolled a 19 on the D100.
Nicely done. And it's going to take us a couple of days to get through this trail. We have horses, but our soldiers do not, and so they slow us down pretty significantly.
They have horses.
Oh, they all have horses as well, do they? All of them.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's much faster then. Nonetheless, we are still going to have to camp here in the forest. We aren't able to make it all the way there. And during the afternoon, as the afternoon is turning into dusk, 5 p.m., something like that, perhaps around about the time we're looking for to set up a camp, we see glows inside the forest. It's kind of looks like lamps, lanterns. They're an orange glow, but rather than being the fiery ambience of a torch, it's softer, almost slowly pulsating. Several of them. Yeah, several of them. It's difficult to count how many because they flicker on, then flicker off. It goes light and fade, and light and fade, and all of this happens in a group of an area of about 1 acre, which is not particularly big, a couple of 100 feet across, but light and glow, light and glow, all roughly around about ground level, no more than a few feet off the ground as far as you can tell.
Oh, fuck. I recall seeing something just like this in the border forest, and I remember Luna nearly running to her goddamn death.
What
That's
means
the
they're
one
just
that-
pretty light?
If I can pull one of them within like 200 feet of the camp, I'm gonna shoot it with a one of my silvered arrows.
All right.
So we're seeing these after we've already set up camp.
As you around about the time you're looking for a camp, so yeah, it's not quite twilight, but it's pretty It's getting close.
Yeah, we're gonna want to set up our camp here.
And where are we? Like, right where our token is? Like
Yeah,
in
on
the
a trail.
forest?
That's right. Yeah.
Okay. Are these forests protected?
I mean,
Short answer is yes. I'm not sure what you mean.
Like,
By protected.
to the degree that the border forest is, for example.
I mean,
Mm,
Like,
I
if a
wouldn't have called
tree
the
gets
border forest
burned,
protected.
like if a tree gets burned, well, like, is it common, or if like
Can he cast Fireball on it?
yes, there we go.
This is
No.
a sacred elven forest. The
Okay.
elves are mostly abandoned the place, so there's like 90% of the elves are gone. So in that regard, no, it's not particularly well patrolled or infested with dangers. There's no overarching druid order that rules the show, but but in the grand scheme of things, it's a more important forest than the border forest. This Cormanthor is the site of the most famous elven society that the Dales has ever known. Yeah. So the entire thing is like a heaven on earth for elves.
So basically, if there was an archdruid here, he might object.
Yeah, he'd probably destroy you. Yeah.
Also, that would totally not fuck up our like military alliance with the druids that's already on tenuous ground
Right.
because of
Right.
fireballs.
Listen,
For the record,
listen.
the Standing Stone, which we haven't gone and seen because both times we went through the trail, the Standing Stone is a political obelisk. It was erected 1,373 years ago. It marks the beginning of Dale Reckoning, which is the day one of the calendar that we adhere to. The Standing Stone is a three-sided obelisk that has written in Elven and I think two different human languages, basically the laws of the Elven people, and it's those laws that have become the laws of the Dales. It's called the Dales Compact. So virtually all Dales law is based off Elven law, and that Elven law is codified at the Standing Stone. Things like "Don't fireball the forest, motherfucker" is probably number 2 or 3 out of 100 druids.
I mean, that's a little subjective because like, is there something worse happening that's like fireballing the forest is like objectively less bad? But general rule of thumb,
lawyer this. Come on.
I mean,
general rule of
I
thumb,
think little white.
fireballing the sacred elven forest in a non-fully evil campaign, probably a bad look, probably a bad political move, probably a bad life decision.
Huh.
So why do you want to fireball like the glowing lights?
I just
Because
want to
Roz
shoot
is a
him.
bad guy.
He's just a scaredy poo.
The illumination is eerie and puts your men on guard. It makes them nervous, and they're wondering why you don't, do something about it.
I mean, I'll go deal with it.
Yeah, I'm going to use my Rod of Alertness to cast See Invisibility on myself.
Ooh.
Cool.
I am going to cast protection from good and evil on myself, and I will follow lockstep.
All right.
Just so you know, I can't see in the dark.
I guess I'll come with you since I can see in the dark.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want me to cast Daylight on something you want to carry?
I can also cast light.
I can just go with light and save the spell slot.
Sure.
Well, I ain't too worried about the light right now, but I'm sure this will be fine. It'll be fine.
Cormanthor is full of crickets and cicadas and other chirping animals that come out at around about nightfall. There are countless streams through this forest. It's a very wet forest, not a rainforest, but wet nonetheless. And the croaking of frogs is a near constant noise late at night, geckos as well. When we cast light and illuminate ourselves, the bright flashes of orange, the glow more than a flash because it comes on and then off, they seem to be attracted to the light to some degree. It's not like they make a bull rush for us, but rather we're walking towards them, and they start walking towards us at pretty much the same pace.
Does anyone know what the glowing lights are?
Well, I saw something like this in the border forest. They were like, I don't know, spirits of the dead or something, like trying to come like lead travelers astray, lead them into quicksand and whatnot.
Why are we going to them?
Honestly, they're valuable alchemical components, and I need them to see in the dark. Maybe. This is a hunch. Or maybe
At a
it's
distance of
fairies.
the distance of about 150 feet or so. The forest is still so thick that you can't make them out, and we're not within range of, say, see invisibility. Oh no, see invisibility has no limit, does it?
No, it would just be my range of sight, I think.
Right. Well, you might as well make a perception check. Anyone else who wants to as can as well.
Will I have disadvantage with my lack of dark vision?
You just won't be able to see beyond 60 feet at all.
Wonderful. Well, I
Then-
see real good in those 60 feet, though.
All right, this is pretty nuts. I'm sure that's enough by now. So you have a distance of about 150 feet or so. You can hear hissing. I can't do the noise. I wish I could. It's a pretty cool noise. Something like that. And maybe I'll YouTube it anyway. Um, these are natural animals. They are specifically beetles. They're big fucking beetles. They're about 18 inches long, and they stand about 12 inches tall. And they glow. They glow iridescently. Their eyes light up like flares and then dull again. And they light up like flares and then dull again. Edwin would recognize them immediately. They are called fire beetles. Fire beetles have nothing to do with fire. They're not immune to fire. They don't produce fire. They're so named because they look like fires, little glowing orange spots in the distance through the forest. And it looks. If you're familiar with fireflies, then they're like that, but giant beetles. They use their illumination to attract a mate, and the female, goes and mates with the one that has the brightest lights. And they must be in season because there's a whole bunch of male fire beetles, 7 specifically, who are lighting up the show and trying to outdo each other with the intensity of their beams.
I've seen these. Yeah, one of my friends had one as a pet. I mean, he kept it in a cage, but like that counts, right?
So who's got the lights flashing? You're teasing them.
Would I know if they're dangerous, if we leave them alone, if they may attack us in the night?
No, not particularly dangerous. Like they're pretty. They got a bit of a nasty bite, and so you wouldn't want to let your kids play with them. They've got these long hooks on their legs, and I found the sound, by the way. And like once they latch onto you, they just don't let go, whether they want to or not. They've got these big hooks. So short answer is no, they're not particularly dangerous. Not unless you're like first or second level, anyway.
My preference is not to kill them if we don't need to.
Oh, he's kind of cute.
I say we just let him be.
Can I try to feed one of them?
Yeah, what do you feed it?
Let's see here. I don't exactly have fresh raw meat, but I'm gonna just kind of like, Suppose I probably wouldn't have all that much other than like hardtack and jerky, but let's go with the jerky.
Yeah, sure. They gnaw at it and nibble at it with their large mandibles and claw at it with their spiky legs. Yeah, but they're not trying to hurt you, and they're too mindless to appreciate what you're doing for them. So they treat you with complete neutrality.
If we didn't have a druid here, I would probably try to catch one, but we have a druid here, so I'm not gonna do that.
Well, I can ask if one wants to go with you.
Only if he wants to be my lamp.
I will cast. Speak with
So I was
animals
just gonna put it in a jar.
with my
All right.
primal awareness, and I'll ask like, "Hey, you, do you want to be a lamp?"
Have you got any girls? He asks.
You want to be my slave in a jar?
He'll tell us like, do you have any girls? That one wants to know.
You want some beetle
You know,
pussy?
I don't think I want him around actually. If that's what he's into, I'm not sure that's the beetle that I want to bring around. You know,
Oh, is that because you prefer men?
because he wouldn't be a good wingman. You know what I'm saying?
I think I get it.
For the record, Edwin, this is something that you'd also know that you probably don't share it with the party, though you might. Fire beetle eyes are a valuable alchemical component. They retain their ability to glow for quite a long time, several days, in fact. So they make excellent semi-permanent torches. Elves have been, utilizing them as a resource since day dot. Elves might be hippies, but hippies still, use
Gotta make a
meat and
living.
use trees. Right? Yeah, exactly. Uh, resources are still resources, and particularly like this group here, it's obviously lots of them. There's so many males that they have to compete for the females. So on one hand, it's probably not going to hurt the environment if you do rip out a few of their eyeballs. On the other hand, that's kind of cruel and unnecessary. So yeah, just for the record, fire beetle eyes are an alchemical resource.
Okay.
All right. The night passes without any further incident, and in the morning, shortly after you bringing your camp down and saddling the horses and so on, a couple of traders start travelling from Ashermanford in the direction of Assembra. They seem to be alarmed by your presence, but all they want to do is just stay the fuck out of your way and
Oh,
keep their heads down and hopefully not have to answer too many questions.
then you
Should we
know
ask
what
them
I gotta do.
questions?
I'm gonna go ask them questions.
Hello, sir. What can I do for you on this fine spring morning?
Let's see here. And this guy's on his way to Ashen or
No, from
from Ashenford to Assembra.
yeah.
Oh, seems like most merchants wouldn't be taking the back roads. A lot safer to take the paved ones, or at least the traveled ones.
Cut the day off me time, my lord, and I've got fresh vegetables. Can't afford to have them rot overnight.
Can I
Mind if we
make
inspect?
an
Oh, of
insight
course, my
check?
lord. Yeah. So anything. Look, you see, I've got carrots and cabbages. I got a few herbs, and Everett. The guy smells like a Zent agent, probably like one of the leaders.
Oh yeah, I'm getting paranoid already, and so
This is Mr. Zentarum himself.
right.
Exactly.
Should just happen to be walking from
Here's the real
Ashenford to
question,
Assembra.
though. Who else has he got with him?
Just a couple of minded fellows, maybe his brother and his stepson. A couple of hicks, really, a couple of farmers. But if you look at the size of the cabbage is about as big as a bowling ball. Think of all the contraband you could store in those cabbages.
Well,
Mhm.
suppose you wouldn't mind if I had a quick peek, would you?
No, my lord. We don't mean the Symbians no harm up here.
The Symbians.
It's the Symbia's business. If Symbia sends armies up this far, my lord, you won't find me disagreeing with it.
Is that where you're headed then, Sembia?
Assembra? No, I ain't going to Sembia. Going just to Assembra to sell me vegetables.
Uh,
Yeah, I'm gonna look this place over top
Yeah.
to bottom because he doesn't have any obvious signs, but like you said, this guy smells like a Zen. I see
Are-
it, dude. It's happened last time.
Yeah. Are these like crates or like just piled in there?
Yeah, just piled in there, like a couple of barrows or a cart being pulled by a mule, and cabbages here, watermelons there, carrots there, so on.
All right. How about you start emptying your cart?
Oh,
Flint's already more or less doing that. It's
Mm.
oh,
oh,
don't worry.
careful with the produce, sir. We can't have them getting damaged, or they won't be worth the silver that I'm gonna earn for them.
I wanna actually walk up to the guy and look at his hands.
Yeah, he has calloused hands, the hands of a working man. The guy, now that you're closer to him, he's probably no more than about 45, maybe 50 years old, but he has the weathered hands, the weathered face of a guy 10, 20 years beyond that.
Is there like dirt in his fingernails, like he would be farming?
Yeah, there is some. Yeah, he's relatively clean, but there's still some.
All right. And what about their clothing? Does it look expensive or
Not
more
expensive, fairly simple, but you do find some spare sets of clothing that are town clothes. So he's got some traveling clothes, which is the sort of stuff he'd work in. But he has some nicer clothes as well. Only one pair of shoes though, one pair of boots.
All right, where's the weapons though?
Oh, well, I've got this bow, sir, and I put a bit of a sickle blade on the end of me staff just to scare away the goblins and the wolves. And nothing like what you've got, though, sir. Ain't got no swords or axes or like.
I'm gonna kind of like look at the cabbages and stuff that I threw out of the cart, and look back at the guy and presumably the fairly at this point obvious farmers. See?
Meaning no disrespect and not wanting to pry too deeply, my lord, but what are Sembians doing this far north?
Wouldn't you like to know, weather boy?
Well, we're not Sembians, and this is just been a routine inspection. This is a routine inspection.
Well, if you're not Sembians, you can't be Cormyrians. Who the bloody hell are you?
Oh, I'll hand him the writ that I have from from Lord Morn.
Oh, you've come all the way from Daggerdale? It's a bit far, ain't it? Marching an army this far east? Why,
Well-
this is most unheard of, most unusual.
Well, there were drought problems, and well, at least some of it's been attended to.
Oh, well, that's just grand, isn't it? Me auntie's neighbour's former roommate got kidnapped by drow. Oh, glad to see that somebody's taking care of it, sir.
I'm gonna give him a couple coins, like let's say like 10 silver for
Oh, you're most
the
generous.
ruined cabbages.
That will be quite nicely. And my lord, why don't you take the cabbages and carrots with you? You got lots of hungry men there, and quite frankly, they could. I think that they could probably use the eyesight. You see, carrots good for the eyes. You never seen a rabbit with glasses, did you?
Oh, suppose, yeah. Eat up, me hearties. Carrots all around.
Looks like
Oh,
vegetables
well,
back on the menu, boy.
Well, if your men are truly looking for fresh produce, there's really no reason for me to go to Assembra. Why, I could give you. I'll sell you all of what I've got if you like.
Well, tell you what, you come back to Ashenford with your cart here and load it up on one of our barges here.
Aye, that I'll do. And he has 100 rations worth of food, and the price of these rations are a quarter of what rations would normally be, and a lot fresher too.
Ooh.
Very healthy too.
Absolutely. So yeah, I'm not sure how much 100 rations is worth. I think they're like what, 2 silver each, maybe. I'm not sure.
I think
Anyways,
I think they're 5 silver a pop. Let me double check.
yeah, I think you're right. 5 silver, so it'll be 50 gold for 100 rations divided by 4, 12.5 gold for 100 rations.
Wow, easy.
Yeah. So for simplicity's sake, right, if you don't want to bother writing it down, you can just presume that that takes care of our guys traveling up to Asherbanford. You know, we an army
That's
marches
kind of
on its
days
stomach.
rations, yeah, for
Yeah,
this and the
precisely.
horses.
That's right. It is a day's rations. You know, it's no more than that, which gives you an indication of once again how expensive it is to maintain people.
Does the
Oh
procession
man,
have
I've been
like
keeping numbers on this, and we've burned through like this army on its own is probably valued out to about 40K so far.
Whew.
Yeah,
But that's also turned into a castle. That's turned into about almost 1,000 small folk. We have skilled laborers that we got moved in. We've got supplies, and this is also just counting in all of the like supply wagons over the last like 6 months. Worker wages
does the
adds
army
up.
currently have like a baggage train?
That's the point of having the extra horses like this. Doing what we did is that we were able to essentially be self-sufficient, and as it turns out, we were able to live off the land most of the way.
Because I just if I buy a loom here, like, will we be able to carry it back?
A loom?
Yeah, to make cloth with and stuff.
Oh, yeah, I suppose you could. Yeah, I guess we'll see what the accommodations are in terms of barges moving down the river, because we've got 50 dudes, 60 horses or so, plus us,
It's
and
like a
whatever else
tailor
we're
where you are,
carrying. But
like when you're
I
bored.
think, yeah, I think we should be able to move that without too big of an issue. It's fairly big, though, aren't they?
what's the question?
Oh, a loom. I've never.
Yeah,
I
looms are
don't know
big.
if
They're
that.
bigger than people. Yeah, yeah, bigger than people. All right. So we make it back to Asherman Ford. Here's the place where they're selling the smoke powder, 100 charges, 100 gold pieces. More can be made upon commission. Up to 1 barrel a week can be produced. They're selling a bag of holding. We might have already bought it, I think. A pair of
Bought
boots
it.
of elven kind, a folding boat, and a broom of flying. None of us use spell books, so I won't bother explaining that.
Oh.
It's a very, very pleasant place. It's peaceful, it's picturesque, it has a lovely river running through it. In many ways, Asherban Ford is the quintessential Dales town. Shadowdale is more famous, but it's exceptional, right, because of its great heroes. Dagger Falls is more exciting, but again, it's exceptional because it sits at the crossroads of so many dangerous places. Asherban Ford is the quintessential Dales town. It is the quintessential peaceful rural village, so it's quite positively a picturesque place to live.
Yeah, I bought him out of smoke powder last time, but am I able to convince this guy to move his shop?
Well, he produces his stuff locally, so like yeah, he doesn't really have a shop. But most like a market is not a shop specifically. It's more
Gotcha.
like a market.
Well, how would you like to work for me?
Oh, what work would you be interested in providing? I'm only a humble man. Farming's all I know.
Well, listen, we need smoke powder and lots of it. All right.
Aye. And so I didn't realize that's who you were talking to. I thought you
Oh,
meant the
okay.
farmer. You're like, yeah, what is, I don't know, he's just a farmer, dude, but sure, okay, he'll work. Yeah, so you speak to the alchemist. Almay is a highly intelligent man, human. He's unlocked the secrets of smoke powder himself through alchemical experimentation. He doesn't tell you what the secret is. Um, but yeah, he would be happy to up front, of course. He has 1 barrel for sale right now, 100 charges, 100 gold pieces. He can manufacture an additional barrel per week upon commission. So if you give him 500 gold for the next 5 weeks, he'll make a barrel a week.
Perfect. Yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely.
All right, great. So yeah, you've got your explosives now, a full 44-gallon drum of alchemist smoke powder, and he sets about making more.
Well, I bought him out last time, so unless it's been a full week, he's probably still manufacturing. But
Correct.
next couple weeks I should have supplies of it getting delivered
Yeah.
somewhere.
Delivery will be extra, but you can arrange that as well. It's being an explosive, it's a fucking dangerous thing to deliver. So, like, they think 100 gold pieces would be fair to deliver it all the way to Dagger Falls. Like, you know, this is the same as delivering missiles in the modern era. You know, you get danger pay for that shit.
Yeah, that's probably like, tell you what, I'm getting a fairly good deal on this as far as I'm considered, so I'll pay a little
Sure.
more for secure delivery. Like, listen, individual courier this shit out,
Perfect.
small packages, you know what I'm saying?
Cool.
Delivered
Well, if you want to
like
give him
black site.
give him 1,000, and for the next 5 weeks, a barrel will turn up every week to your castle.
Perfect, let's do it.
Cool. The local second level adventuring party has a new quest.
I'm
The
giving
thief-
out a lot of these now.
Unfortunately, the thief taxes a little bit of the smoke powder and plays it with salt, but oh well, you get that.
Price you pay for dealing with adventurers.
That's right.
Find good help these days.
Exactly, and he's getting XP, so you just look at him. Oh, you know.
Pat him on the
little
head, and I
5-year-old.
kind of just want to give him a short sword or something. I got this magic sword here. I shouldn't give this to you. You're clearly evil.
He takes his hands out of your pockets and doesn't take your silver after all. Okay, so we leave Whistledale behind, and
I was going to buy a loom
Yep.
and weaver's tools first.
yeah. Oh, buying an entire loom. As we mentioned, they are big. They are
I
big
know.
things.
That's why I mentioned, like, if there's like a baggage train, just pop that on there.
Yeah, weaver's tools are one thing, you know, like there's basically some knitting needles and some bloody twine. But an actual loom, I'm not even sure if looms would be invented. I might check out when the loom was invented.
Huh.
If it does exist, you might be
You
able
could
to bargain
research it in Age of Empires
Yeah.
if that counts.
Fifth millennium BC. So yeah, they've been around for a while. Okay, that shows the it's been
Yeah,
around
bit.
for 500 gold pieces.
Would you be able
I'm
to
still gonna
barge
need to
that?
transfer some of this stuff out of. Will they take either trade bars or gems?
Absolutely, I'll take either. Yeah.
Yeah, we can pay in gems then. I'm gonna need to see my guy, girl, lady, something. Get rid of some
Sure.
of this shit.
All right, you can assume that it comes with a bunch of materials, so you don't have to pay extra to do some, at least not to make the initial fabrications. But if you're, trying to equip an entire army, that'll be different. But you've got enough materials to get you started.
I've already got
500 gold
a
pieces.
sack of blue wool and a sack of green wool.
Perfect.
And I guess
Elven
We should
colours.
get cheap.
I can pay in.
Yeah.
What will 50 platinum do instead?
Absolutely, it takes platinum. He hasn't had much platinum, and he essentially shuts down his business. You've bought him out, but 500 gold pieces is a shit ton of money for a struggling farmer turned businessman. So he goes into semi-retirement and buys a boat and takes up leisure fishing as his new
Did I
career.
just walk into the village and buy like the tailor's loom and leave with it?
Yeah.
Precisely
bought
what
the
you
tailor
did.
shop.
There is only one loom here. You now own it.
Hi.
We just come here and no, they're not wearing clothes anymore.
Plus,
You're like
we
the
just
man-
hired out all of their like a bunch of their barges, presumably more than one. And
You're like Mansa Musa, right? You wander into the town and just throw a gold and platinum everywhere. The economy dies, but
Oh,
a handful
man.
of people get stinking rich.
Yeah.
oh man, unfortunate.
We come
It's
back and
unfortunate.
Ashburn Ford is just like nothing. No, there's no one there. There's no point.
Everyone's
Yeah.
hooked on meth because
Yeah.
Oh god, it's like the actual Midwest.
Hey, now.
Nobble has intelligence. He doesn't see anything wrong with this action.
Hell no. You made him very happy. In fact, now he can do fishing.
Yeah, and now the town just lost a major specialized trade. There we go.
That's right.
But
them's the
it
breaks.
it just moved to our castle. So yeah, I figure we'll hire on another tailor, and
Yep.
then we have a localized economy booming on our place.
Yep, there are other industries that are dependent upon the loom. We might be digging too deep into this, but while we're going down this rabbit hole, like there are dyers and there are cobblers and button makers, and these like half a dozen specialists. Well, without the loom, they can't do their job, so they're kind of like, well, what do we do now?
We have a castle.
Oh
Will
god.
you will you employ us as where's the servants and mercenaries? Is that no? That's the wrong one.
I think it'll be
Like the button maker just came out and was like, hey, you can't take that, I need him.
no, it'll be under servants and mercenaries. The castle
Is it?
labor
Right.
force. We'll throw them under there.
No, there's a standard prices, standard wages or something.
Oh. Okay, that one.
I mean, we need someone to make uniforms.
All right.
I have proficiency in weaver's tools.
And we can
Perfect.
always, like, not saying, because this will probably take a lot of fast forwarding kind of thing, but towns
Standard
sometimes
wages. There we go. Notice boards.
towns sometimes form
boards.
around castles. That tends
Yeah,
to happen.
absolutely. Yeah,
So, like,
yeah.
And ours is booming, dude.
yeah,
It's
and
growing
not
very quickly.
technically we don't even have to hire people. They'll just move in for business, and
If
they
we're the
can.
lords, though, 'cause,
Yeah, yeah,
they work through us. They
yeah.
work for us. Like
And
this
it means you
is
don't
the
have to
best
buy their
blessing.
stuff either. Like they'll be making
Exactly.
your flags, they'll be making your clothing, and so you pay them, and you're basically the corporation, and they
Mhm.
are the subsidiary. Yeah.
Hmm.
So they will be technicals. Well, maybe they're probably skilled actually, not technicals, skilled. Um, unless you want them to be technicals, in which case you could probably get them. So yeah, each of these dudes is going to cost you 12 gold piece a month. You can hire up to 5, and button makers
Yes.
and tailors and whatever other industry that you can dyers, whatever other industry you can think that might use cloth as their commodity. And once you've made a decision, you can then alter
Fantastic.
the servants and mercenaries chart.
Oh, do you want me to do that now, or can I think of it and like have it set in before next week? Because I
Whatever
generally
you prefer.
usually after day after session on this one, or whenever they post up the video, I'll rewatch it and do my math.
Perfect. Perfect.
And
All
we
right.
can also
Yep.
make Castle Daggerdale. That's what we're in, right? Castle Daggerdale.
Correct. Yeah, that's right.
It can always become a trade hub as well as.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
So we'll need something like shipbuilders.
Yeah, and this is also going to be a source of income that can feed our armies.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and like they were talking about farmers here, and we needed people who actually are like skilled at this shit. So we got a lot of unskilled labor, but finding people who actually really know what they're doing, so that'll be, yeah.
Would weaver's tools be dexterity?
Generally, yeah, but they might also be wisdom.
More intelligence even.
Yeah, if you want to do some embroidery, intelligence might be, again, dexterity might be better. But either way, you're probably not going to use strength very much unless you're making something like rope.
Get our loom. And I just suppose, like, while I'm at it here, I'll post out a copy of the bounties, which essentially it's just the giant, but it's also the job offer.
Isn't there? Didn't we get bounties for the drow for killing a drow?
Oh no! I'm talking ones that I'm paying out. Castle. It's like
my bad.
basically like bring the head of the giant of White Crag to Castle Daggerdale for a 500 gold bounty. Yeah, but also is essentially the job offer of paying them the same as the rest of our tribal warriors if they're proficient in spear. Then they get paid as, I think it was a skilled laborer. No, it's technical, 60 gold a month. Okay, we able to catch our ride and get to Shadowdale then?
Absolutely. So we move on from the picturesque town of Asherburn Ford and load up our barges. Have they been paid for yet, the barges?
Yeah, I
I
negotiated with
thought they
the
had.
Abbey when we got there in the first place because I was like, oh, we'll be back in like I mathed it out. It was like 5 or 6 days there and
Sure.
back.
All right.
Paid in advance.
The Abbey of the Golden Sheaf is the single most productive farmland on the fucking planet, at least outside of Karatua, anyway. And so, is there anything that we want from here? Do we want to secure supplies? Do we want to get reserves for a siege? Anything like that? They have more than enough to add on and take on an extra client like us.
Oh, I've got them essentially delivering to us on a regular basis. They're going to be one of our primary food supplies, and seeing as they can effectively reach us nearly by the river, that'll be useful.
All right, cool. Are we paying for it, or is it coming out of the goodness of their hearts? I don't know.
Oh no, we're paying for it, but it'll be like a monthly expense with some of my other things.
Yeah, sure. Okay, cool. Once again, you could probably consider it to be about a quarter of the value of whatever rations would be. So, if we don't need to do the math at the moment, but that's basically what it's going to cost you. Okay.
Does your place
All
have
right.
fields?
Yep.
Like farmers?
Does the base have veal? Did you say like baby
Fields?
cows?
Like places
Ah.
that grow potatoes?
Not yet. It's like cutting down some of the forest around here is tricky business. So we've allegedly like got somebody who's going to be the liaison with the druids, so it'll be slow going. But yeah, we will eventually have some fields surrounding the castle.
All right. So yeah, you travel through up the river, and about halfway, the the occasional lizard man that you've spotted so far becomes an absolute plethora of lizard men. You're entering, you know what, like the Nile crocodiles, how they just pile on top of each other. It's a bit like that. There are hundreds of lizard men, and they're kind of lazy. They just lie in the sun and occasionally blink. If anything, they seem to be annoyed by the fact that you bring shade and block the sun temporarily. A couple of them panic and freak out and dive into the water or rush off into the forest, but the vast majority of them just don't even react whatsoever as you move through a force of lizardmen that outnumbers your entire army.
That's very interesting. I didn't realize that there was such an alligator problem, I guess.
Oh, they don't like being called that.
Oh. I mean, it doesn't seem like they're hurting nobody.
Yet.
Yet, yeah. I'm gonna throw like a chunk of jerky off in their direction, and I'm gonna shout something like, "Y'all speak English? Y'all speak common?"
A number of them do, and they kind of want to practice their common as well. So they wade over to the water, and some of them bring baskets, and some of them have fish, and some of them have nets, and they are interested in seeing if you want to trade.
Huh. Interesting.
What were these again?
Lizard
These are
men.
lizard people. Huh. I don't have a whole lot of like trading goods on me at this point. I'm fairly tapped. I don't even have
Sure.
poison at this point. I don't even have arrows.
Steel is, they really like some steel or some bronze. Metal is pretty useful to them. Even an arrowhead will be enough to turn into a spear. They're primitive people, but they're highly creative. They weave baskets faster than anyone else can. They can make kites and you name it. If it's makeable with your bare hands, the lizardmen are probably absolute masters of it. Little fish hooks made of bone. They don't make anything that requires manufacture in a sense, which probably surprises no one. But when it comes to primitive, basic tribal equipment, there's really no one quicker than a lizardman.
Think someone was looking for arrows here recently.
Oh,
They'll make you bone arrows.
Not gonna
Bone
be
and
great
stone.
arrows, but they'll get you cheap ones.
if they're made well, like it'll still kill the thing.
Yeah, they're sharp as shit. They use flint, which is a very sharp material as long as it's fashioned properly. So they've got like 100 flint arrows. What do you offer? They don't understand the concept. They understand the concept of money. They don't have a currency system, so it's entirely barter based.
I can probably trade that for you. I got something that I don't think I'll ever actually use, but I've had since level 1. I got a bunch of metal darts. I got 20 of them.
Yep, they're enthusiastic to get 20 metal darts for 100 flint arrows.
Yeah, easy.
Yep, sure. And again, they got plenty of fish. And they got hides and scales, nets, and if there's sandals, anything else that you're interested in, they've probably got it. It's a veritable market. And there are hundreds of them.
Do they have something like a rare fish, something like an electric eel, or maybe like something like a stonefish, something poisonous?
Yeah,
Anything
sure.
rare?
Yeah, they can find not an electric eel, but they can find bull routes, which are a relatively mild stonefish.
Okay, yeah, get some poison off that maybe.
Yeah, sure. It'll be serpent venom. What do you exchange for? Up to 10 applications of serpent venom.
Ooh, I burned my darts, but I got these 2 steel daggers, and seeing as I have a
Done.
longsword that can turn into daggers, that's almost better, right?
Yeah, so they'll trade 10 applications of serpent venom, which is pretty damn valuable
That's
for
really
a pair
good.
of steel daggers. Yeah, no, they think this is a great deal.
Tell you what, I'll throw in my metal shield as well because, like, I honestly don't need it.
All
And
right,
I'll
he gives
throw
it to his
in.
wife, and now he can have 7 different wives. He's a very happy lizard man.
Very nice.
What would
Yeah.
they give me for a crossbow?
They're a little bit, they're a little bit iffy on the crossbow. It's a little bit technical, but
What if I
what
show
will
them
they
how to
give
use
you?
it?
Crocodile tail?
Do they have any? Would they have any rare pelts if they do all that good stuff?
Yeah, they are aquatic pelts. So like crocodile
Hmm.
skin, for example. It's not
Ooh,
exactly
give
a
you some
pelt, but
boots.
yes, and they give you an entire skinned crocodile for your crossbow. Maybe two crocodiles.
You know what? I want to give it to them as a sign of friendship.
They give you a crocodile skin as a sign of friendship. They explain that it can be cut up or just hung on the wall, and you are likely to produce a lot of eggs because they give a bit of a hip gesture to show that you give this to a female, and you'll be humping all night.
Will do.
Oh, sign of friendship, right? I think they want to be a little more than friends with you, Roz.
I do have scales.
Debbie kind of keeps a closer eye on Dahlia.
Yeah, right. We've made so many friends here. We kill all the drow and like rip off the natives.
Wait, he says, looking at Devi and Dahlia, and says, your women are so ugly. Perhaps you would like a lizard woman instead.
Gross. They don't have any scales.
One thing that they are selling, perhaps their most important commodity, is their eggs. They sell eggs for 10 gold pieces each. You have to raise them yourself, but as far as they're concerned, once you buy an egg, it's yours forever. They don't see it as slavery.
I was about to ask.
They just see it as fair trade. Like they're a very communal based species. they really believe in the greater good for the species as a whole. So selling one or even 100 lizard eggs is it's good for the community because it means that the priests get rich.
How fast do they age?
But they mature in about 3 to 5 years. They assure you that they are best taken as eggs, like rather than taking young or even warriors, you're best taking the egg because it will wherever the egg hatches, it impresses upon them, and they show that they show the same communal attitude to their owners that they do to each other if they hatch in a communal environment.
I honestly want to buy a decent number for the castle.
Roz, I
10 gold
swear to
pieces
God,
each.
if you
Not like slavery wise.
implant lizard people slaves in our goddamn castle.
No,
Not
it's the
slaves.
slaves for the
Maybe
record.
like raised as not necessarily equals, but like
Apprentices, not even magical apprentices, but they look after themselves. They hunt for themselves once they're able to. So they don't require a lot in the way of rations. They are honestly, they are the ultimate fucking basic labor / military force.
Ultimate grunts, really.
Yeah, the ultimate grunts. That's right. They're neutral. They're not evil. They're not even chaotic. They're just neutral. They're self-sufficient. They have like a kind of racial memory in order to create simple crafts. They're peerless fishermen and swimmers. And yeah, once they
damn it, you're talking me
once
into
they
this.
like you, they don't just like you. They love you. It's
And you said that. Go ahead.
And yeah, you can treat them like shit too. They don't care.
And wherever they hatch, he said that's their home. So like,
yeah,
they take care of their home. And we are mostly have fighters in the castle right now. Yes, it'll take 3 to 5 years for them to fully mature, but
We
that
don't
they can
actually.
basically flush out any spaces that are needed. I don't know.
I'm pretty
How
excited
much?
by the
How much
idea of
per?
a moat. 10 gold pieces an egg. Like the one of the mothers that produces the egg, she's pretty enthusiastic for children to grow up in society with a moat, to their very own moat. Like it's maybe this is a bad analogy, but if you can think of like poverty-stricken people in the real world who are very eager for their children to be orphaned by rich people, they've got 10 children already, they can't raise them, so it's not like that. These guys, they have plenty of resources, they're not getting rid of them because of poverty or anything, but the analogy is maybe fair. It's on one hand, it'll probably give them a better life. On the other hand, they get 10 fucking gold pieces. Yeah, boy. So it's win-win, right?
Oh, God.
How easy are they to hatch?
They're pretty resilient. They will give you instructions. You got to keep them insulated. You got to keep it moist. But as long as you've got if you hire how about you hire a technical lizard person, a midwife, a brood master, and the brood master can look after up to 100 eggs.
I kind of do like the idea of hiring on at least like one lizard dude here.
Yeah, to like care for them until they hatch, and
whichever one can solve the riddle. I don't know the riddle, but
I'll take 36 on my own.
Brilliant. Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Roz the dragon begins his slow descent into dragon horde creation.
For some reason, lizard folk speak Draconic.
Yeah, absolutely they do. They also speak Saruk. These particular lizardmen also speak an ancient language which hasn't existed for 30,000 years. Yeah.
I don't know what that is in character, but I know what that is out of character.
They will show you. So now that we're getting like a little more serious and passing on by these Nile crocodiles and buying their fish, now that we're considering adopting their children and bringing them into our society, they introduce us to their priesthood. They take you to the outskirts of Eternus. Eternus is like one massive fucking ziggurat that sits in the middle of an island within the river. and they take you to meet the priests. The priests dress in feathers. They have great big feather headdresses, and they got shit tons of gold, like so much fucking gold, and emeralds and sapphires and rubies. These lizardmen priests are rich as fuck. And they're all adorned in these exotic clothing. They've got staves of pure gold and mirrors of pure silver and so on. But they want to show you something. They want to show you what Eternus actually is. Because although Eternus is the name of their society and the name of their city, it's also the name of their calendar. So they take you to the outskirts of their temple, and at the front of their temple, they have this huge. If you're familiar with the Mayan calendar, like a big circular calendar that has multiple rings, this calendar dates back 35,000 years, and it dates into the future several thousands of years as well. And you can't make neither height nor tail of it unless you've got like an intelligence of 17 or something. But they try to explain it nonetheless, and it's basically an astrological calendar in a calendar in a calendar in a calendar in a calendar. Tracks the hours at the lowest level, then the days, then the months, then the years, then the centuries, and after that it gets a bit funky because they no longer use like a base 10 system. It's like a base 64 or something, a base 6. I don't know. Anyway, it's a really unusual. Maybe might be base 7. Doesn't matter what it is. It's difficult to comprehend. But the way they explain it, they have a calendar that dates back 35,000 years and dates forward another 5,000 years. So they can like predict. They tell you flat that we can predict the future with our calendar. We know what's going to happen.
What's the weather going to be like tomorrow?
Oh, they look up at the sky and they say, "It's raining. Welcome to the Dales."
Well, I mean,
I'll cast Druidcraft to tell, and it will tell me what the weather is going to be like tomorrow.
There will be steady showers throughout the day.
It works.
It's raining. It's the Dales.
do you know the outcome of battles, or how can you tell the future with this?
That they it's a little bit difficult to divine such things, but it can be done. It basically requires a ritual, and ritual generally requires a donation to the priest. These guys are already really rich, so it can be hard to buy their services. But yeah, they can divine anything with this, anything.
Would this be like a
What
buy
gods do
36
they worship?
eggs and
Get one
a singing?
divination free? Yeah.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, if you buy 36 eggs, they'll in order to, because it is such an auspicious event. They would be happy to commune with the eternal powers and answer your questions.
Is it just one question?
Let's see. It might be 3.
Was it commune?
Commune. That's right. Up to 3 questions. Yeah. And it can be up to 35,000 years in the past, which according to them is when the world was created. They show you where the world serpent split around about 30,000 years ago. According to their mythology, there was only one god, the world serpent, and he took on too many roles. Like he became a god of mercy and a god of war, a god of hatred and a god of love. And this contradiction broke him apart into all the gods that we know today.
Huh.
That's hot.
Do we have any Ouroboruses? No.
What do you mean?
Yeah,
Snakes hitting each other at the symbols. Or...
I know what it mean. I know what it is. I just don't know what you mean by.
Those of you who've been here for a long time might recall going into Dagger Falls and Silverwater Steel. They had a medallion and they wanted it identified. It was an Ouroboros. But if we don't have one, then they can't see it. If they saw it, then it would mean something to them. But
nope, not anymore. I don't think.
That?
I want to say that we picked that up in. Fuck, that was one of our first like bits out and about.
Yeah, it's not on in the list, so we probably either didn't ever identify it or
sold it.
in any
Probably
case,
melted it down.
I don't think we
Something
ever got one because it should be in magic items if it was ever revealed, and it doesn't look.
like that.
All
I thought
right.
I identified it at one point.
I
You might have.
remember it being mentioned before. Is
Yeah.
the thing,
Are you
because
sure you're not
Yeah.
thinking about my statue that I
every
have?
every time I think about it, and I get deja vu every time because I remember it, I think of Seven Deadly Sins for some reason, even though it's not really related the anime because I'm a weeb. But yeah,
Well,
I remember specifically thinking of it back then because of it.
cool. I'll produce it even because as I said, I think Debbie did identify it maybe before the TPK. So she might be able to remember. Ouroboros, other characters, handouts, Ouroboros. They're pretty cool. Like they're quite cool. Here, the Ouroboros of Arcane. That's it.
Huh.
So I'll just share it with you. Yeah, you've never. Oh, you might have identified it, but anyway, here it is. So
Oh,
they
that's
have
odd.
these here. They have a lot of
Wow.
them. Each of the priests wears one of these. So even the relatively low level priests have these highly powerful magical items. Yeah, Eternus is a very
That's right.
strange society. Yeah, very strange.
Yeah, because
Holy
I
fuck.
remember that because I remember it's like wait. I remember like okay, it's +1 to AC and saving throws, and then I remember reading the advantage on saving throws against spells. I'm like, what?
Whoa, yeah, that's something.
Yeah,
Is
they
it something
tell
that
you.
was?
Yep.
I'm sorry. I was asking if it was something that was lost in the paperwork or if they never had it.
No. I don't really recall seeing this personally.
I remember. Oh, he had me identify it for him. The guy at Silverwater Steel.
Yeah, paid 10
He
gold
had
pieces
me.
to get it identified. Yeah.
He had me identify it for him, but it was still his. We never got it from him.
Mm. Yeah. So each of
That's
these
what it is.
yeah. Each of these priests is wearing one of them. So between all of the gold and jewels and magical items that they're going, like this is a fucking wealthy society. There's probably as many as 1,000 lizard men here in total if you count all the ones out in the rivers. And considering there's only 1,000 of them, they probably have on a per capita wealth basis 10, 20 times as much as the average Dale lander.
Yeah, no fucking kidding it. Holy shit. Like,
Mm.
like walking into this place as like we might just be able to cut our way out of here with like an entire El Dorado worth of gold here, boys. But now I'm
Yeah.
second guessing that.
Yeah, well, and considering they can see the future, they probably second guess as well. So if you're gonna do
I
it,
mean,
they can probably see it
you've got
before it
50
happens.
soldiers here. I've got a pile. I've got a thing of gunpowder here. Fuck, I've got an archivist. I'm gonna crack a Cortez this shit, dude.
Oh, we are totally we're Cortezing these guys. Yeah.
Oh, I don't.
Oh
I'm
no!
not
kinda
quite in
wanna
that
open-
alignment, but it's been crossing my mind here. But it's a little bit too complex of a society for me to just gun down like that.
You're going to stop Roz from fireballing a small spot in the forest, but then you're going to try
That's
to
for political
massacre
decisions. That's all for
The-
political reasons, man.
This could be a very, very political based thing because we won't only need the help of the Dales, we'll need like smaller societies like this to help us too.
Exactly. So
And
you
if
know,
we show the
liquidating
prerequisite,
them.
if we show the prerequisite of hey, we ran into these guys and massacred them for their gold, it's not going to be a good reputation for us.
Right? It's like, oh, you guys are the good guys, right? Okay.
Right? Question mark.
Apparently not.
I do want to
Well,
open. I want to open trade of basic goods with these people.
Oh, absolutely. They encourage trade. They see trade as signs of a civilized society. They are they're a theocracy. They're ruled by their priests, and the priests consider it their sacred duty to get really rich. And that's just that. That's what, and everyone in their society accepts that as the way. You know, it's
This is
nobody questions it. Yeah, that's right. You know, anybody who questions it can fuck off and become an adventurer and go and be political somewhere else. We're
okay.
not going to stop you.
Better plan than Cortezing them. All right, so we incite rebellion, and then seize the wealth that the czar, priests have accumulated.
I call them priests, but they're all hermaphrodites.
Interesting.
What does that have to do with priests?
Well,
Priests
they're
or
not priests or
priestess?
priestesses. Yeah. It's yeah.
Hierarchs, how about that?
Sure.
Sorry about the dogs.
Theocrats. Yeah, no worries.
Yeah, we definitely should keep in touch with these people. About this scrying, though.
Yeah, 3 questions. They will be answered by the divine omniscience, by the world serpent himself. World serpent might be fragmented, but every god was created by the world serpent according to their mythology. So their god is quite frankly better than yours. You know, like they don't mean it as an insult. It's just we're monotheistic. You guys are the fucking pagans, and our god is real and yours is not.
Well, to say that our gods aren't real means their god never was real.
Maybe your god's not powerful then. Like
Oh.
there's gods and there's gods, right? Like their god is God. Your
My god can beat
gods
up
are
your god.
demons.
is the god's
Precisely, right?
toes.
Yeah, exactly. You're the god's toes, the god's fingers, the god's balls. Like
Yeah.
that's all you are. I'm not insulting you. I'm just telling you the truth. That's all.
So personally, for me, I'm upon everyone's approval. I'd say we need to make these questions about our upcoming obstacles. Was it the Twisted Tower that we were supposed to be in?
Elminster, I think one should be like at least one of them on Elminster.
Yeah.
Movement of the Zentarum army, maybe.
Yeah, something along the lines of where's the Zentarum army going to strike next? And
I want to know the strength of the Goblin Fort.
Oh, we'd know that already.
They're
Check
supposed
the
to be yes
report.
and no questions. They don't have to be, but they are supposed to be. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you check the which report is it? I think it's the
Teshway?
Yeah.
Your all-powerful god can only say yes or no. Okay.
Maybe the Theodoran
God
Inquiry?
is, but the caster might not be. You know what I'm saying? Okay, yeah, the Theodoran Inquiry had some of that too. Where is it? Goblin Fort.
Goblin Fort report.
There we go. Ah, there it is.
Numbers uncertain.
And what I'm hoping to do essentially is to Al Qaeda the shit out of the place. And if we have enough time and I'm able to get enough smoke powder, maybe potentially like literally IED the army leaving the place. That would be just so sweet. Okay, we're getting a little ahead of ourselves with that.
When you attacked the oldest continual culture in the world for its golden magic.
Oh, man, but there's so much of it, you know? So
All
much
right,
of it.
Flintler, calm down.
Listen, I don't want to exterminate them. I just want to take their riches. There's nothing racist about it.
Well, we're going to act
If
like
anything, they're the superior ones.
We're going to act like the Nazis like still don't have paintings and shit that they took from people's homes.
Oh, you mean the Americans when they took it from the Nazis?
Yeah, but like
in Switzerland.
Anyway, this is going on YouTube, so we should be careful about using that particular.
Just getting yeeted.
Oh, already happened. Anyway,
Twitter has now cancelled their account.
Edit it out. Edit it out. Edit it out. Mark the clock.
Question. So they're yes and no, right? Okay.
We can
I've
ask
got one.
if he's in. Oh, go ahead.
Is Elminster still in his tower?
That was what I was about to say.
Oh, very nice. Great minds or something. Yeah.
So is that a question? Is that a question?
Yeah, I think that's a good place to start.
Yep.
Is Elminster still in his tower?
Yes.
Okay, I think seeing as Elminster is probably the most important bit on here, because we get him out and involved, that'll make our lives a billion times easier, I think, or at least more defensible. Mm, mm, mm.
What do we currently know about the Zentarum army?
We know that they just took the
Hillsfar?
yeah, so it's not a yes or no question, but it might be able to be like a one-word sort of answer, or even just like a general direction or something like that. But something like, where will the Zentarum army turn next? Might just be like a north-south, or maybe give us a town name or something.
Surely your all-powerful god can.
Let's give that one a shot then, yeah?
Right, how do you word it?
Something with a time frame on it, like is the Zentarum army going to be marching from Hillsfar within the next week or something?
Mm-hmm.
Well, what do you guys think?
I'd say within the next month, but
Let's...
I want to know how much time we have before we need to focus on stopping their advance instead of bringing, like, instead of like micro conquering on our side. I want to see how far before we have to stop them from conquering everything, basically.
How long
we have
before
to
we
deal
have
with
to
their
confront
army.
them, basically?
Yeah.
How about something like this? Are the Zentarum currently consolidating their army? Something like that. Or we could even go for something like, is Shadowdale the next target for the Zentarum? If I was them, I might just go straight for Shadowdale and cut Dagger Falls off from the rest of the Dales.
Is there any reason Dagger Falls would be the priority?
The Black Road.
Yeah, the Black Road, but we already smashed their the Sand Fort, so that might be a loss for them.
If they know Elminster is gone, they could attack Shadowdale.
Exactly. So we could ask like an either-or question. Will either Dagger Falls or Shadowdale be the Zentarum's next target after the conquest of Hillsfar? Is that what we want to go with?
We could just say Daggerdale in one fell swoop, or
well, Shadowdale and Daggerdale are separate, so
Yeah.
it's potato.
If you ask, like, will Shadowdale or Daggerdale get attacked in the next month, that would be a yes/no question.
It would also not necessarily include the Zentarum. Sorry, go ahead.
They don't have to be yes/no questions for the record. Short phrases might be appropriate, but the less ambiguous, the more ambiguous your question, the less direct your question, the more likely the answer is simply to be unclear.
Where will the Zentarum strike next? Would be
that's a question that might work.
Yeah, I like that. Something like, after the conquest of Hillsfar, where will the Zentarum army turn its attention next? Yeah.
Is that the answer? Is that the question?
I think so. Yeah. What do you guys think?
Yep.
That sounds good.
The fires of rebellion burn bright. Hillsfar will need to be conquered again.
Ooh.
Nice. Yeah, they're probably gonna have to raise the goddamn place to the ground. If anything I've heard about Hillsfar is true, then they're gonna have to essentially exterminate the whole goddamn thing.
Raz is from Hillsfar.
Oh yeah, so what do you think?
Raz would know better than anyone that Hillsfar has the greatest gladiators in the world. They're all slaves, but there are literally thousands of these seasoned gladiators who have been doing nothing but fight for the past 5 or 6 years.
You think we want to incorporate them, or should we just allow them to be an honored loss?
Gladiators, I'm not sure how good they are in this format, but how gladiators work is usually they will fight for their freedom, and after they fight for so long, blah blah blah, we can say if they help us push them back, we will all give them their wooden sword or whatever the equivalent is here.
I mean, I don't know about you, but I have issues with taking slave soldiers, but something like that. Give them land. That's usually the equivalent.
Oh, service guarantee citizenship.
Exactly. We're getting real Roman up in this bitch. Well, we got one more question here.
It went Spain to Rome pretty quick.
One last question.
You could push something more on.
We can, if we want
Ooh.
to worry about it, we can ask when Sembia will attack Battledale.
I got one other one too. This is a much more personal sort of thing. But let me look up the name again. It's been about a month since I played this game. But Captain Dicknuts, what's his name?
Oh, the guy with the skulls?
Yep, that guy.
Where that bitch at? I am perfectly
Exactly.
fine with
Yeah.
this being the question.
All right. Oh fuck, let me look up the goddamn name again.
Captain Dragoth?
There it is, Drogoth. Yeah.
Where that bitch at?
Where is Captain Drogoth?
I'm muted. Is that
Oh,
your
good.
question?
I believe so. If you guys are okay with me burning it on a personal question here.
It's not necessarily specifically personal, but yeah, I'm fine with it. So that's 2.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go for it.
Yeah,
All right, that's
for you
4.
guys that weren't there, this is the former guard captain of Shadowdale that turned out to be some kind of creep and like Cyric worshiper. I want to kill him. But yeah, let's go with that. That's the question.
All right. The Cyricist seeks refuge in the last bastion of Cyric, Hillsfar.
So he's like probably full Simtarum then, if he's that, or
He's probably lined up in with the gladiators.
Yeah, he's probably in with them, and that's probably what the rebellion is.
Oh.
That's my 2 and 2
Oh
together.
man. Now I kind of just want to change the plans here, boys.
Suddenly we're joining the Zentarum to crush the Hillsfarans.
No.
No, I'm almost tempted to just like Flint and the 10 scouts just go put one arrow in that dude and leave, but that's such a waste of resources.
I believe our battle plan was to like clear out so we have passage basically, because we're eventually going to Hillsfar. That's like what we're trying to clear out. But
We'll
we were
deal
to
with it
clear out Tesh
eventually.
Wave. Yeah, we were to clear out Tesh Wave, then Yulash.
We've got almost 2,000 Zentarum soldiers to deal with in Teshwave, though, so that's not a quick objective. You know, this is gonna take like probably some terrorism and probably a pitch battle.
You know how you clear out 2,000 soldiers?
Lots of dynamite and a Raz.
Lots of dynamite, raws, and taking away their food.
I don't know if we have time to really besiege them because they'll potentially just get reinforcements coming from down south, and the last thing we want is to be more outnumbered. But there's our 3 questions at least.
Yeah, I'm mostly just worried about like making sure I want to starve them out.
Yeah, they also got they also got civilians nearby. That was the other thing. So I
It's their
would
fault for
very
still
much
being there.
prefer to like lure out the majority of the army and break it up into bits. Again, problem for later Roz and Flint. Is there anything else we need from the lizard peoples?
You've
36
got
eggs.
30. So you got your 36 eggs. They
Hmm.
and provided you're willing to pay for a specialist, then one of the an albino hermaphrodite lizard folk priest will come along with you.
Listen, Roz, he reports to you, he stays in your bedroom, and you get to explain to everybody why he's here.
They, not
Also,
he, they.
They,
why they're
them.
there.
Sorry, excuse me.
Proper pronouns. Are we going to assign them an accent, or are we?
Hmm.
He hisses, hiss.
The Drow are French, so I just need to know.
It's like this. It's high pitch sharp and hiss.
Oh, that sounds like the
so
Yanti
pedophile.
too much, though.
Let me stop.
I guess.
Also, I'll ask him about his pin and
Hmm.
like where they get them and why an outsider might have one.
Oh, the Ouroboros, you
Ooh.
mean?
Hmm.
Uh-huh.
Right. Okay. Look, they have researched this themselves. This is the answer. So on Silver, I might take us over to a different map. So here, back on this map now, Silverwater Estate, you will see lies between Dagger Falls and Serpent Bridge, specifically over here on the edge of the Desert Mouth Mountains. Technically, Serpent Bridge used to belong to the Silver Waters, but back then it was just a bridge and not a town. Since becoming a town, it's pretty much independent. That's maybe more information than you need. Anyway, as you can see, Silverwater Estate here backs onto the Desert Mouth Mountains and sits at the beginning of the Serpent River, which runs through Shadowdale and which you're currently in right now. They'd always assumed that the Serpent River was a natural spring, and it kind of is. But specifically, they were doing some excavations recently in Silverwater Estate, and they broke into an underground complex called the Aqueduct. That's just what they call it. That's what the humans call it. They found it in the aqueduct. According to the priests of Eternus, they believe that that is a relic of Saruk society, making this ruin 30,000 years old or more. The oldest dungeon in the world.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, predates the arrival of elves by 10,000 years. It predates the creation of dragons by about 10,000.
Wow.
Yeah, this is primal. And they show you right, like they take you to the calendar, and they show you right near the first, right at the very start, just after the creation of the world. That's when the aqueduct was built.
I love just how human this encounter was. Like, we find essentially, you can ask us, any question about the entire history of the world, and we're, only concerned about our immediate shit, and, looking for every which way to, essentially squeeze these guys.
Yeah,
Ugh.
that's an interesting perspective. Yeah, yeah. If they had their way, they would storm the aqueduct and reclaim its glory for archaeological purposes for the Saruk for the priesthood, right? But for one thing, they're not a warrior society. They don't wage war. They're introspective. They're theocratic. They're religious. They're not conquerors. And for the other
Nice,
thing,
honestly.
there's no way that 1,000 lizard men could ever possibly take on the might of the Dales. That's madness.
Do they do loans?
No, but they do invest.
Oh.
Because what I was wanting to see, because they have an enormous amount of wealth.
Enormous.
We can do things for them, not necessarily us, but we can even send other people once we get numbers to take the aqueduct, by kind force. With
For the record, I shouldn't interrupt. Before the record, the aqueduct is technically part of Daggerdale, so it technically falls under the jurisdiction of Lord Morn, but in actual fact, it's completely under the control of the Silver Waters.
We can ask permission from Lord Morn to requisition it.
What do you mean, ask permission? Yeah, and Flint's gonna show the writ and just kind of waves it around. If he's got nothing to hide, then we got nothing to worry about.
I also last thing from me, I guess, is what is the state of Eternus? Like, is it a crumbling ruin, or is it like?
Yeah, it glitters. It's it's not in its prime. Its prime was 35,000 years ago, but they've maintained themselves pretty well. Sticking with the South and Central American analogies, if the height of if the height of that society was the Mayas and the Toltecs, these are the more degenerate societies like the Aztecs. Like they are inheritors of a once great civilization. So the structure is still intact. It's covered with gold and marble and fucking jewels are everywhere. But it would have looked better 30,000 years.
A little overgrown, maybe.
Exactly, that's right. And they no longer have archmages that run the government, things like that. The height of society was back here at day one. That's when every spell was written. That's when every invention was made. That's when the creatures were created. And every other civilization, from the elves to the dwarves to the giants to the dragons to the humans, has just been a pale imitation of what the Saruk did at the dawn of time.
Would they? Because it's not that like I want to devote everything to these people, but they do have a lot of money, and I want it to make it worthwhile to them to keep us around and to give us money. Like maybe cleaning up Eternus, getting them the aqueduct, offering protection.
Or looking after those kids, as an investment in their educations.
Yeah, looking.
Well, maybe you start with small things, and when you come back later, we do bigger things.
One thing that they can offer you straight up is this: if you find any relics from the Saruk, then they will take them off your hands. And in fact, they have something very specific in mind. Like they're not a warrior culture. They don't want to start fights. But if they look at the calendar, they can tell you that Serpent Bridge is a bad place. Specifically, this is a little bit esoteric, and it's a lot of lore when you've already been dumped with lore. But while we're on the topic, we might as well finish. Serpent Bridge is run by Setites. Setites are a foreign culture. This foreign culture came from a faraway plane called Earth, a faraway place called Egypt, and they arrived here about 4,000 years ago or thereabouts. And they settled in a place called Mulhorand, which can be found on a much larger map. I'll take us over there, the Sea of Fallen Stars. So this is the inner sea right at the center. Mulhorand is all the way over here, the furthest eastern shores. So the Setites, over in Mulhorand, they are still ruled by demigods, or at least they were until the time of travels 20 years ago. Things kind of changed, but for intensive purposes, you might as well think that the pharaoh in Mulhorand is literally a god. They had a bit of an insurrection. The Setites tried to take over and killed like the Horus Ra faction, Osiris and the like, and they lost. So a large number of them then migrated all the way across the other side of the inner sea, all the way up to the Dales, and settled here in Serpent Bridge, where they built a temple dedicated to Set. Now, the reason why this is relevant to the citizens of Eternus, to the theocracy, is because they have perverted the religion of the Yuan-Ti. The Lizardmen consider the Yuan-Ti to be their superiors. The Saruk created both Lizardmen and Yuan-Ti, but the Lizardmen were created as servants. Yuan-Ti were created as administrators. They're a higher caste in the ancient society that the Saruk invented, the first society. And what the Setites have done is they have denied the world serpent. They have denied the Saruk. They show you on the calendar that in the relatively recent past, Set himself captured Seth, a fragment of the world serpent who is still responsible for, who is meant to be the Saruk's god. And they have subverted this religion, this dogma, and basically convinced the Yuan-Ti that their god is Set, not Seth. So ultimately, what they show you in the future that Seth is freed. Seth will defeat Set, and the Yuan-Ti will be free, and there will be a glorious empire, and the Yuan-Ti will once again rise to a position of prominence in the world. The Saruk will rise from their graves and once again show themselves to the world. But this can't happen until the first block of the Jenga tower is pulled out, and that block is the destruction of the Setite temple in Serpent Bridge. Now, this is a lot to take in, I know, particularly when you think about, well, do we really want the Yuan-Ti to be a resurgent society? Is that really so great? Do we really want the world's first society who were archmage serpents to rise from their graves and be a formidable political force in the modern world? Like, is this a good thing? According to these priests, it's inevitable. It's the future, so it's going to happen. But it
Mistra
can't
just
happen
appears and
until
nerfs their magic as soon as they appear.
that certainly might happen. But they predate Mistra, at least according to their own theocratic history. So maybe they've got a way around that.
If it's personally, I feel like if it's going to happen no matter what, it's kind of an IOU slip that we have for them. just because, like, hey, humanity or whatever, the Dales people and all that, they are the ones who caused it, basically. It wouldn't have happened without us.
One more piece of lore, and this would probably be the last for a while. The Saruk Society, there were three of them. One was over here near Milharan, one was down in Chult, and there are still remnants of it. But there was also one in Anarok. And they tell you quite frankly that the city of Orim, in the very depths of Anarok, miles and miles below the surface, has never fallen. It's the oldest city in the universe, in the world. It's been running for 35,000 years, and it's still running now.
Wait, really?
That's what they tell you. And that's why these Saruk rise from beneath the sands. They will defeat the monsters of Anarok, and their empire will be born again. The greatest empire that ever was will once again rise to a position of prominence. A lot to think about.
Flint stabbed the priest. Did them.
Oh, sorry. No, I'm adding in. I'm adding in some things. Say what you will. I got a really good deal on poison, and just about every single time we level up Arctic, you roll a random encounter, and I end up getting 10 vials of poison.
Yeah, you're one of the premier poison collectors in the world at this point. You rival the whole town of Serpent.
Right? Oh man, it makes me kind of want to go there and just start shooting them. But it's like I know Yuan-Ti are immune to poison. Do you think if I get this Serpent God's blessing, I can become fully immune to poison?
I said that was the end of the lore, but one more thing to note is that the Saruk are the inventors of the Soul Forge, of the Flesh Forge, of the Rune Forge. So they literally knew not only how to take two creatures and make them one, like the Minotaurs, for example, the Lizardmen, the Yuan-Ti, but they also knew the secret of forging souls, whatever that means.
Huh.
These guys sound like kind of evil, maybe?
They're evil in the same way as maybe the ancient Sumerians. Like if you look far enough back in history, slavery was normal and might made right, and conquest was holy. So from if you apply modern values, then perhaps it is.
I suppose I shouldn't go applying my modern values to that. But in the case of them predicting the return, not sure how much I want to really help with that. But good for them.
What about Munmuns?
What?
Money.
Yeah. Get an investment from the temple here for the education and future of these chosen
That's why they're
eggs.
selling them to us, though.
Precisely.
Yeah. What would they invest in, I guess, is a question.
The destruction of Serpent Bridge, the taking of the aqueduct, the rising of Orim, those sort of things. If it's related, if they think that it will glorify the Saruk and their god, then they will support it.
They
Uh,
probably pay us afterwards, right?
Yeah, basically, and they might not even pay you in a conventional sense, but rather, they could basically be like a client state of yours, in a way, right?
Until they
you
get
could,
too many archmages.
yeah, yeah, and then suddenly they reveal that they were manipulating you all the whole time. Yeah.
and then they get raw
Pretty much.
special. No more stuff.
I mean, this is like 100 years, 1,000 years after we die. You know what I'm saying? But
it's not my.
Yeah.
It would not be my problem, and I get something out of it. So.
fuck the
turn to
world,
Raz
long term. High five.
turn to Raz and Devi and say, "Well, Devi, if you would be so kind as to use the Soul Forge to merge Raz into a god, then all you have to do is kill everyone else." Something like that, maybe. Yeah,
Oh,
who knows?
wait, what's this about making
No.
gods?
Anyway, that's
No,
Hmm.
I'm not making Roz a god. That's the last person. All of a sudden, the world just gets bathed in fire.
You
It's
thought
fine.
Styric was
It's
bad.
fine,
you
right?
can't have regrowth without burning the forest first.
I mean, yeah,
Oh,
Roz
goodness.
just like burns everything down. Go, oops. You hear this big godly oops.
Now we can begin again, fresh.
We all
Yeah,
know
I'm
that there's only
totally
one
meant
person
to
here
do that.
who could handle that responsibility, and that's Dahlia.
Hey, is it Dahlia? Yeah.
Oh,
Dahlia
Flint
is the
knows
more
that.
responsible one.
Only
Yeah.
really responsible one.
All right.
I'm kind of responsible.
Fair.
Thank you very much.
I'm quite sure that I've spoken enough at this point. You get your 36 eggs. You learn about the mythology of Set versus Seth. You understand that what they really want is for the entire priesthood of Set to be utterly annihilated from Serpent Bridge. So in that regard, they want Serpent Bridge liberated and returned to the Dales, and the evil cultists to be utterly eradicated. They want the aqueduct to be explored and the relics to be reclaimed and returned. And at the end of the day, they want Oreem to rise from its grave and to come back and rebuild its empire in Anarok, which used to be a tropical paradise. Um, but then the Netherese and the Faerûm had a battle, and that's a story for another time.
Are they offering anything specific for any of this?
Specifically, they will buy back whatever treasures you get from Serpent Bridge. And so, like, if it's base gold that you want, they don't give a fuck about base gold, right? Like gold is
They
only
got gold.
there to they got gold, and then they only use it to glorify their god. So, if you were to find, say, Ouroboroses or statues of the Saruk or something even more valuable, then they'd be happy to pay you in cash.
Keep that in mind.
Noted.
Also, it shouldn't be lost on us that, like, sure, they're not an army, but this is it's a mobile, it's a potentially combat effective force here. I don't know how we would necessarily go about doing that, but it's a lot of people here. So if we can somehow convince the priesthood that, a fight's worth it, maybe we can get them to show up. Who knows?
If they don't help us fight the Zentarum, they will destroy all remnants of Seth.
Yeah.
Not according to their, predictions.
Fair enough.
I'm saying in this area, like they'll destroy Eternus or whatever. I don't know.
That's
Probably not.
possible. Yeah, probably not, but it is possible. But I guess it depends on just how grand the dreams of the power mad Zentarum are. Like, at what point do they stop and consolidate? Who knows? It wouldn't be. I was going to say it wouldn't be really on their radar. If it's not, then it would be on their radar as soon as they find out how much damn gold these guys.
Yeah, no kidding. Like, even Flint, who's like, I mean, he's probably more chaotic neutral these days, but like, holy shit. Like, listen, I'm not totally sure, but like, this is enough gold to retire on, so like,
Enough gold to build a
goddamn.
city with.
take the vultures and just yeet south, retire somewhere on like the southern moon sea, live like a king. But alas.
Question. I was looking at magic items. The is it the shield standard spellguard shield or the one that's listed on the side?
I didn't understand the question.
Is the spellguard shield the one that's in the magic items in this, or is it a standard spellguard shield?
I didn't know there was such a thing as a spell guard shield. It's the one that's listed in Magic Item.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the difference between the one listed in magic items is the one listed in magic items is a +1, and it
Oh,
also
yeah,
gives
this is it.
advantage against gaze attacks.
Yeah, that's the one that I just shared, isn't it?
Yeah. That standard one doesn't have those.
Debbie
Oh,
wasn't
right.
here when you shared that.
Okay,
Yeah, sorry, I was
yeah.
caught up with other stuff.
Yeah, so that's what the spell guard shield does. Saving throws versus spells, +1 shield, and advantage on saving throws. They were originally, it's written there. They were originally designed to fight beholders with. They have like a transparent sector. You can see through that eye, like you stand behind the eye, and you can actually look straight through the eye on the other side, and that's how they were used.
Okay, so my AC didn't go down at all then. Sweet.
Yeah, they're pretty cool.
You're sitting at what,
Yeah.
25 right now?
I'm sitting at 24 base. Once I put the cloak of protection on, I'll be 25.
Is it alright if I grab one of the +1 shields from the party wealth?
Easy.
Yep, you can have the one I had on me. Go for it.
Sweet, thanks.
What's everyone's AC sitting at now?
20.
Mine's about to be 21.
Mine's 16.
15.
Plus shield, though.
I imagine Ross's is probably around 15 as well.
I think
18.
he's got them scales, so and plus
Oh,
those
yeah, you
bracers
got
of
your
unarmored
scales.
defense. So
Yeah,
a
16
flat
naked,
18.
and then
Yeah, we're a hardy bunch.
is Nubble, do you have any defensive abilities?
Range
I have a
combat.
bow.
Oh yeah, range. That's a thing.
And I have a dragon.
All right.
Yeah, Because how much HP do you have between the two of you, though?
I mean, that's a weird question to ask, but I have 76.
Oh. It wasn't supposed to be in character, but more making an out of character.
I know. Well, yeah, I have 76. Well, 71, and the dragon has 55.
Just imagine Flint leaning over now. How many hit points do you have, little kobold?
Just
read
whispering in his
them,
ear. Whispering in his ear. How many hit points do you have, boy?
Huh?
Goddamn.
All right.
That's all we need from Eternus.
No worries. Then you are free to lounge around in the sun and soak up the warmth and eat the fresh fish. They serve a really delightful sushi here, seasoned with a whole bunch of spices and herbs that are taken from the from the Cormanthal forest. Yeah. And after you eat your prawns and your sushi and whatever else that you plan to do here. For the record, in case you were wondering, and I don't think any of you were, yes, they do cook their own eggs. So if you want to eat some baby lizard man, then it's a delicacy around here.
What an interesting culture. Honestly, Flint kind of doesn't like foreigners, but just anything
You're the
he
foreigner
perceived-
here.
right? Exactly. But something about this culture, just I like it.
Well, it's obviously worked for 35,000 years.
Yep.
Go figure, an autocracy, theocracy.
So, not that I want to get technical,
Yeah.
but technically speaking is the only way of speaking. Are parasites not a thing?
Are parasites a thing? Yeah, they absolutely are.
They make you
'Cause
stronger.
you're technically not supposed to eat freshwater fish.
Yeah,
Raw?
is that the case? Right. Yeah.
I
They
just
have
don't
cure.
know
They have
if like
cure disease.
I
Purify food and drink.
yeah, eat the food that will cure you. It's
The
fine.
regular lizard folk do it, but they just do it for the outsiders here.
Yeah, I was about to say, I was like, the lizards, yeah, but we, nah.
Flint starts eating like a bunch of them, and one of the like priests runs up to the cooks and then just like waves his hands over the food.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Pulls a tapeworm egg out.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's the same way as even the modern. Some cultures say grace and bless their food. Please God bless this food for our bodies and so on. When these guys do it, they actually cast cure or purify food and drink as part of the process.
Nice.
I ran with a cleric in a campaign where it saved his butt that he always did that before every meal.
Brilliant. Brilliant.
I guess in this culture exchange, I will share my 20 good buoys with the lizard folk.
Oh, that's fantastic. They don't eat a lot of vegetables, but they take a small amount, and they find your berries to be very sustaining. And so mostly they just give them to the hatchlings as a kind of like a lolly.
It's like that the hatchling gains 1 HP.
Yeah,
The ones that they haven't cooked for dinner.
precisely. The ones that are doing the cooking.
Do they do anything like combats? What's their entertainment? Surely the theocracy does something like that, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Blood sport is a very real thing. It's a way of solving disputes as well as just a form of entertainment. Yeah, they have like gladiator fights, for want of a better term.
If we had a little bit more time, I'd ask to fight in it, but
The loser is humiliated and the victor is sacrificed.
oh, never mind.
Roz wants to fight.
No, wait.
Glorious sacrifice for the victor. Hooray! I get to join the world serpent.
Well, in theocracy, this is like the best thing that could happen. So you're
It keeps
offered
that-
to your god, and you get to sit with your god and probably be eaten by your god. But hell yeah!
You know,
Also a great way to prevent insurrections. When the warriors get too good, you just encourage them to join the battle. And
That's so
peace rule on
true.
forever.
as long as you don't have to be fighting any major military conflicts, that if you have the warriors just kill each other, that's a phenomenal way to conduct a society.
They're very clever. They're very clever.
Go
Lizard
figure, the
brains.
alien lizard folk know how to operate a society. Out of
Alright.
everywhere we've seen, this is probably the most interesting, honestly.
You guys are the first people in any of these campaigns to ever actually see Eternus. First
Wow.
group ever.
Did we only just see it because we decided to take boats instead of walking?
Because friendship is the real power.
We decided to take fuck physics and take boats upriver, and decided to go buy Eternus that way.
I
It's great.
mean, how
Hard
much
to take
do
a boat up.
how much do physics really matter in a world with magic?
Right?
When you think about it,
Too
they
strong,
wouldn't
too gay.
have river boats if you couldn't take them back upstream because you'd have to
Yeah.
buy a boat, build a boat every time you take a trip. So yeah, if you ever do a bit of canoeing, then all you're going to do is position the canoe at the right angle, and the force of the water pushes against the side of the canoe, which propels you forward. Yeah.
Well, maybe the real friends were the lizard overlords we made along the way.
Yeah. All right. So, with all of our business done here, we consider ourselves schooled by the crocodiles. Like we've learned a lot today. Fascinating to immerse ourselves in the culture. We're not tourists; we're travelers, right? Put a review of this 5 stars. would cannibalize baby lizards again.
Right? It was
We're
delicious.
not cannibalizing it. We are not the same species as them.
Would buy slave
Yeah.
babies again. Got it.
That's
Mm.
right. That's right.
I feel like that's probably that's probably losing Fallout karma if you're
That's-
eating a sentient creature.
True, but we're not buying slaves. We're paying adoption fees. Get it right.
We're investing in their upbringing, okay?
Okay.
All right. So we travel further up the river, and we come into the vicinity of Shadowdale. There are a lot of fishing villages. No, fishing villages is the wrong word. There are a few fishing houses. Shadowdale's only got a population of 500 or so, and most of those are agricultural. But there are a few people that engage in fishing as their livelihood. Yeah, true, right? And leisure as well. So if there's anything that you want to stop to talk to the villagers before you actually get to Shadowdale, now's a good time. They're quite brave. They are fascinated to see an entire army coming up, and they send their fastest runners to go and warn the town that we're under attack. But they pick up their quarterstaffs and they knock their arrows. One 50-year-old dude up against an army of 60 people in fucking metal armor, but he'll take you on, right?
Debbie goes, whoa, wait, I'm from here.
We got colors, like
He's like a
something
level
like
20
that, right?
monk.
We,
yeah.
we, we have a standard, probably.
Yeah, it's Randall Morton standard, something like that.
Oh, you must be them Dale folk from up Daggett Falls way. Heard that you went down to Battledale and you were going to fight the Dark Elf.
Oh, yeah,
Sure
we
did
killed
on our
them.
way back.
Oh, you killed them. Ah, did you bring back their ears? Always wanted a necklace of Dark Elf ears.
That's weird.
Wow. Great-great-great-great-great-great-grandfather was kidnapped by the Drow. I wanted to get my revenge.
I mean, that sounds like something a kobold would do, and you just said it to me. So this is strange. I don't know what to do.
I saw you were a kobold, so I figured it would be something that you'd do.
Not a very nice thing to think about someone else.
No,
Oh.
no ears, sorry, old man, but you got a
Hey,
couple
don't mean to
grand
be
on
racist.
you?
My generation, we're a bit like this. A couple of grand. What do you mean?
Well, if you're just looking for heirlooms, like he'll show up in the spider staff.
Man, that's what I'm talking about. I'd hang that up in the pool room.
10,000.
I think it'll go around the mantle place over the castle, yeah? Over the
Yeah,
fireplace?
that's the spirit. So you run the castle, do you? Yeah, we've had a few of your soldiers come down here one every now and then. Come into town and visit the local fest hall, play a few games with the dwarves. Yeah, a fairly nice folk for rapists.
Well,
You are.
I'm happy to see y'all are getting along. Say, you wouldn't happen to know someone who has some, what are they called, Debbie? Shadow cope sleeves?
Poor not only Edwin, but I think Matt's sitting here going, like, what the fuck was that last comment? Like, where did that come from? Should we explain? Do we need to explain?
Listen,
I
the
think
Iron
we probably-
Vultures have a checkered past, all right?
Yeah, they did. They deserted their post back in Cormier, and they became bandits. And they got lonely in the mountains for 4 years, so they started stealing orcs for wives.
I see.
Yeah, right. Yeah, and you look around, and there are 50 armed soldiers, and so these are the orc rapists. Oh, nobody told me that until now. Yeah.
More cussy.
Listen,
There we
that's
go.
how you know these guys have balls of steel, all right?
Snoo, snoo.
Oh, yeah, let's see if we can't get you some shadow top leaves, and then let's go pay Elminster a visit. These were stone orcs too, though, wasn't it gray?
They are grey orcs.
Oh
yeah.
God, Arctic! I just saw what you put. In the
I'm
chat.
sorry. I apologize to the entire internet. Yeah. This is,
Out of everything that's been said in this episode, I don't necessarily think that's gonna be what gets it removed.
I'm sure in the future we'll only have about 12 followers, and we just lost 2 of them just then. So I apologise for that.
Oh well.
Yeah.
At least it's not monetized, right?
Hey, it's
Exactly.
monetized. We pay good money for this shit.
In 20 years, you're going to get fired because of this comment.
Yeah. Oh, this will be a scandal.
Your
But,
career in
When I plan
politics
on
is
running
already
for
over.
president, this
Roz.
is going to take.
Oh, well. I'll get
Men
impeached for this.
exhibited Nazistic behaviors in D&D session. Political career ruin.
He bought slave
So-
baby eggs.
I was having fun while they were eating the children, but I drew a line. A joke. All right. Yeah,
Just
no
remember,
worries.
there were those people on Twitter who said orcs were black people, so you're basically being racist as well.
Oh no. Yeah.
Oh no, now
yeah.
it happened.
Let's avoid that one like the plague. All right. So yeah, if there's anything that you need to talk to this guy about, this random but relatively knowledgeable and brave citizen, you can. Other than that, your barges will reach Shadowdale to a great amount of fanfare. You've just increased the population of the town by 10%, with your arrival. So I guess it's like American warships turning up at a country town in some foreign land. Everyone comes out to see what's going on.
We've got like 2 barges filled with like horses and dudes, and there's a bunch of loot, and we got a loom. Got a big
It's a
old fucking
spectacle.
loom.
Yeah, this is something that kids will remember. Back in the day when those 50 soldiers turned up,
And the albino lizard midwife, yeah.
right? You're celebrities, you really are.
Level 10, I'd hope so.
Yeah, no, but he'll just be waving at the folk as they pull up, I guess.
And the young boys wave enthusiastically. The girls a little less so. The parents sort of nod their heads and watch you dubiously. But it's pretty exciting for kids, at least.
And suppose we'll probably be picking up with Elminster Towers next week, right?
I'd say so, yeah.
Okay. Is the Pegasus caravan gonna be able to give me cash for some of our trade goods here? Let me check Kim. Let's see here. Ooh, those mithril objects will get 200% of their value here from the Pegasus caravan. And gems will get 90%, which is about as good as you will get.
It's been a
Nice.
really long time since we came here because I just deleted the tokens for Razul and and Kyle's old character.
Luna.
Luna. Yeah, Luna.
Hey, what's the dog down here though?
Oh no, that's Nyx. That makes me sad.
Oh, yeah,
Man, we've
Nick's
even got Rex on here.
Well, Rex has been like chilling the old fort since like the beginning.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's actually based there, isn't he? Point.
He is the owner, and he's a unwitting member of the Shadow Thieves. Because I convinced him to, he's keeping the altar to mask there, and I mean, he's effectively protecting the place.
Who am I missing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Dahlia.
Right.
Newest member
Right.
of the party, so it's not surprising you forgot her.
There she is. All right. So yeah, welcome to Shadowdale. It's an exceptional town, truly exceptional. 500 people, and at least 5 of those have epic levels. It's not like any other place in the world. It's on one hand, the vast majority of the citizens are Hicks, hillbillies and agricultural folk farmers. On the other hand, a significant portion of the civilization is very progressive, extremely so. And so it's a really unusual mix of traditional rural values with highly liberal points of view, and ultimately a little suspicious, but very communal based, very friendly, very brave. and very prosperous as well. So welcome to Shadowdale. What is the first thing that we do?
I wanted to go check with Kim just in order to negotiate some of this stuff getting dropped off, but I think I can honestly delegate that to the lieutenant.
Sure, and I'll share the notice board with us afresh. Yeah, and
Nothing.
stealing cows and horses.
Oh, so this is a thing we could do now. You guys remember the hobgoblins from level 3?
Yeah.
I bet if we sent 10 veterans to accomplish that task, that they would do it with 0 casualties.
Do it right now.
And do it with 15. Like we got plenty of guys. They might run into something else along the way.
But we don't want them to be too heavily armed. But yeah, I think sell a lot of our mithril and some of our more fine jewelry and shit. I don't think that Kim buys magic items though, does he?
Let's see.
Closed it. There it is. We'll buy Myth Dranor relics, but I'm not sure he's in the
Non-available.
market for it. Regardless, probably get a better price from it from the Shadow Thieves anyway.
I thought they also wanted first option to buy from us anyway.
Oh yeah, you're right.
What's going on with Old Skull? Was like if children go there, no more school for them.
Wait, what now?
Yeah, it's out of bounds. It's like a local dungeon. It's really close. It's right here on this plateau, so it's within walking distance. And so many kids have been going up to the dungeon to drink beer and smoke tobacco and maybe give their girlfriends a little bit of a touch up. That it's becoming just it's out of hand at this point. And if you do it again, we'll throw you out of school. But you get free schooling in Shadowdale.
They're
Running
not
a
only
level 1
liberal
adventure,
but
but
socialists.
it's like running a level 1
Very
adventure, but instead of finding monsters, you just find other parties of level 1 adventurers.
It's fun.
Like there's no actual loot in the dungeon because it's all been taken by like the level 1 adventurers like decades ago.
Honestly, Mithranor is something like that. They're obviously not level 1s, but there's so many adventuring parties that the best profits to be made in Mithranor are from murdering each other. Yeah.
I feel like that's why the Drow set up there.
And the Zentaras.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fair enough. We'll deal with them eventually. Okay, we'll get to it.
Getting back to business, after Kim Caravan, like when the lieutenant tries to sell magic there and they don't take it, he directs you down to a place called the Dwarven Forge. It's a social club and it's really not like anywhere else. So I'll describe it if we go there. Otherwise, I won't.
Oh, I forgot that I actually had a sort of an exclusive deal with the Shadow Thieves, and it's ironic that someone other than me remembered that.
No problem.
You're
But,
welcome.
yeah, well, right. At least someone knows.
I
What's
probably
going
just
on
saved
there.
your life.
Maybe I'm too valuable to them.
I mean, if you're
said.
not selling them the stuff first, you're not so valuable to them anymore, are you?
Yeah. Maybe. But yeah, I think then after we've essentially liquidated some of our wealth here into coin that we can actually like give to our hirelings and whatnot, I think we go find the what was it, Storm and Dove, and then go poking around the wizard tower, find our way inside.
I look to buy some shadow top leaves too, probably from this guy down here since he has herbs for cheap.
Ooh.
Exactly. So, is there a specific amount that you'll need? Like
1 ounce.
Is 1 ounce? Okay. Sure. We'll say an ounce is normally 10 gold, so he'll sell it for
Sorry, for how much?
half, five gold, half of that.
Cool. Can he break a platinum piece?
Absolutely.
All right, and then do you also have like gems and stuff like that. I thought I saw. Hold on, I closed the thing. That's right. His name starts with a K. I'm losing it.
No worries.
Yeah, so I'll see if he has like that 400 gold worth of jet and onyx
Yeah.
or black marble.
Yeah, the black marble he'll have. Yeah.
And I'll kind of poke Flint like, hey,
Well, what?
we need 400 400 gold worth of crushed black marble.
Oh, easy.
I
I'll gotcha. Probably trade bars or something.
yeah. We got him party wealth, yeah.
Very good,
I'm
very good.
pretty-
While we're in the business of doing business, why don't we do some business? Some sort of business. What would you like to open a business? I've got a business of mine for you. You can buy a caravan license.
We
Yes,
already
caravan license.
got one from him, didn't we?
Oh,
Yeah, we already
wonderful,
got one.
wonderful. Oh, that's exclusive.
And then also silver thread, 100 gold worth of silver thread.
Too easy. They have plenty of that here. Imported from Dagger Falls.
Cool. Now I have all the stuff. I'm gonna see if I can take this stuff over to the Dwarven Forge and see if any of them work with that stuff.
That
Oh,
was the
absolutely.
druid that had that particular recipe. I think it was Connie.
Yeah, Connie had it. I'm just saying if anyone local does.
I mean, it's less than a day's ride to get over there.
Yeah, but that's days we could be spending here taking care of stuff.
I mean, we could
Have we been to? Sorry,
Go ahead.
have we been to the Dwarven Forge before?
I have.
Yeah.
All right.
No
No
They
worries.
played D&D, and I interrupted them by going to the fighting pits, I think,
Yep.
or something
Yep.
like that.
Having a great time. They have an absolute great time. They're at it again. They've got some. An expanded edition of the Tomb of the Forgotten Heroes. They're up to level 5 now, and one of the wizards is casting Fireball as you enter the store.
I calmly wait for them to reach a stop, like a quiet point when things kind of die down a little bit. Like Debbie grew up in this town. She knows not to mess with them on game night.
For those of you who haven't been here, the Dwarf Forge is an amazing location. It's a social club. For 50 gold pieces, you can buy permanent membership here, and it'll entitle you to drink and eat and work the forges. And it's everything that a dwarf bloke could want to do. There's a place for him to sharpen his axes. There's a place where he can get cold and hot beers. There's a fryer, a deep fryer, and throwing axe contests and darts and you name it. If you can think that this is something that dwarves enjoy, then it's probably available here at this little social club. And it's run by a very tall dwarf, stands over 5 foot tall, who is quite genial and has we don't. This is an old version. He has a whole range of magical items for sale, so I'll just import that. And that'll bring us up to the end. Okay. All right. Where is he? Rune Master. Rune Master. Okay, cool. That will do. And once again, hopefully this works. It did indeed. There you go.
And it was like 50 gold for lifetime, right?
Yeah, 50 gold for a lifetime membership. That's right. Yeah, and that means free beer, free bacon. If you want to do some forging, then there's usually a couple of blokes around here who are happy to show you how it's done.
Oh, there's a second. Okay, there's 2 rune masters. No, but they're both.
Because I'm just tempted to do it because, like, in the future, like, someone's going through the charters, like, what on earth is a nubble? 15 dwarf names and then just a kobold.
I
Debbie
don't
does
see
get
the
a beer while
list.
she's in there. Yeah, I'm not seeing it either.
You can't see the magic items.
Nope.
Oh, really? Really? Try shutting the character sheet, and then I'll share it again and see if that works. Still no?
Nope.
Yeah. No, just it is through friendship that we discovered ourselves.
Is it in the DM
All
notes?
right. No, it's not. No, it's just roll. You might have to update. You might have to reload Roll20 or something.
Yeah, I reloaded it and now it says loading, so let's give it a minute.
I'll take a screenshot so that it can be shared.
There's also
Yeah.
2 Rune Masters. Is it the top one or the
Yeah.
bottom one?
I think they're exactly the same. I think it's just a duplicate. Like Roll20 probably didn't
Oh, here
like
we
when I
go.
imported it. It was already there.
Yep, here we go. Twig of Recall, Wand of Smiles. Oh. Oh, there we go. Staff of Power. That's 100,000 gold. Yikes.
Huh. That's potentially in our price range, depending on how much gold I can get selling whatever magic items I can sell.
Well, there's a headband of Dark Vision for 5 grand.
Oh, buddy. Oh,
Are you having a moment?
I kind of want that.
It's also Gauntlets of Ogre
5
Power
fucking grand. Oh, gauntlets of ogre power too. Holy shit.
for 10. Yeah.
That's not cheap.
So yeah, I'll grab a beer. Wait at their table for them to reach a lull in for them to finish combat.
One of the dwarves rage quits because the other dwarf casts fireball right on him, and he fucking hates it when they do that. Like, dude, like, don't fireball me. But I killed the snakes, but you fucking killed me too. And he rage quits, goes home to his wife.
I'll
Yeah,
tell him
he's
next
done for the
time.
day.
I'll tell him next time roll a tiefling so that he has fire resistance.
He doesn't like tieflings, though. He thinks that,
Fine, go for the
Yeah.
dragonborn, man. Like, come on, figure out a way.
Yeah.
I mean, that game looks like fun, so I'll get membership.
Brilliant. And they introduce you to the delights of the Tomb of the Forgotten Heroes and the Caves of Chaos. All
I'll
right,
ask
gentlemen. Yep.
I'll ask when they have a moment. If any of them are familiar with how to make a cloak of displacement.
No, they aren't. They can forge things, but tailoring is not their specialty.
Okay, I figured with the carpet of flying and a couple of the other stuff, they may be, but okay.
They admit that these are Elminster's toys that he didn't want anymore. He
Oh,
got like so many treasures that he's picked up with various quests that he's gone on, and they end up here. It's
I'll
like this is the
look-
dumping ground for his shit.
I'll look at one of them kind of knowingly, like you're trying to pass this off as your own work again.
Well, yeah, they didn't make it. All right, I'm going to have to head off now.
Okay.
So
Right.
We can say
we
goodbye
shall
to the
see you
internet.
all. A week's
Later,
time.
y'all.
Bye,
Goodbye,
internet.
internet.
I'm sorry for everything, internet. I'm sorry.